Hello there, guys. Hope we're all doing well. First game of the day for me and Charlie here. As it is Zero Tenacity versus Cyber MD. Obviously, as you can see, we are on Nuke here, but it is going to be a good one. Obviously, though, we had a little bit of a look at the stats beforehand. Zero Tenacity starting things off 4-0 this season, whereas Cyber MD, not the worst of starts, but nowhere near close to Zero Tenacity's as they're 1-1. So it's going to be a tough game for them. But what are your initial thoughts going into this one, Charlie?
I mean, Zero Tenacity, they've really impressed massively throughout this season. I feel like they've had previous seasons like this, but something feels different about this one. It feels like they're finally back to where we used to them being. CyberMD, the only win they have on the board, like you said, with that one-on-one record, it's actually a forfeit win. So it's really tough to know what we've seen so far from CyberMD, but this might give us a better gauge of what there is for them to offer.
Well, straight away, things look quite bad for them in this pistol round. They lost a lot of kills early, but straight away, Latovka with a 3k. That is a lovely triple. And we've got a player in heaven as well. This is going to be so tough for AVN. But yeah, as you mentioned, I feel like Zero Tenacity, they have kind of stepped up massively. Obviously, we've always seen them being a dangerous side in the league so far, but I feel like they kind of just look as though a different beast this season. But straight away, though, Cyber MD keeping Zero Tenacity at bay from the pistol, as they do find success on the T side.
Yeah, there is an investment here from Zero Tenacity. They are fully forcing this one with the Deagles and that Scout.
Nade doing a fair bit of damage onto Nightman. Timing on the spam isn't perfect, but another nade onto Nightman. Not much utility here, though, on Cyber MD. They used a lot of it to get down towards B, but they do have the B bomb site. As Kyofo hasn't rotated down yet. Ooh, we'll be peeking towards ramp, but gets ripped away in this round. Litovka finding Namana as well. Now it's this 5v3. Surely Cyber MD are going to win this one. Simka in the back lines. We'll find Softic.
Yeah, it should be an easy cleanup from now for Cyber MD, but interestingly, Zero Tenacity, I believe it was their last game they played, if not the game before last, and was on Nuke as well, where we saw absolute dominance, brilliance from them, and specifically brilliance from Brute Monster. He's a player who just could not seem to slow down. Every decision he made was made to perfection, and he just looked so dangerous. Yeah, they played a couple of Nuke games this season against VPProdigy and Thunder Flash, and won them both. Obviously 4-0, but really impressive stuff so far from Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, obviously Cyber MD, though, getting these early rounds very important, especially on the T size, as it kind of does just allow you to have somewhat of a buffer. Realistically, you find the first 3 rounds on the T side, you only need, 3 more, and that's a fairly strong half. 6 rounds on the T side, and Nuke certainly not going to be unhappy with that. But I feel like Cyber MD, they need to be aware that once Zero Tenacity get on these full buys, that's when things become a little bit troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something similar we saw with VPProdigy. We just couldn't see VPProdigy get that early lead, and it really allows Zero Tenacity just to run away with it a bit. So Cyber MD getting a few rounds on the board could really be the difference here.
We're going to be seeing this top site here. So they just sent the Molotovs. Oh, Christ. That's a very nice find onto AVN. Obviously, this is just the eco round here. We do have 2 Deagles and a 5-7 in play, but we're not really expecting that much from Zero Tenacity here. Maybe a kill or 2 will be kind of the best they can find, but Kyofo tasked with finding a lot of bodies here towards ramp. In fact, just gone round him. They're going to be wrapping towards heaven here. Kyofo's got all of this information.
So Chris holding the cross, finds the first.
There's going to be some fast flanks here. Bryce is aware, though. Takes down Kyofo. Varain does find Namana as well. Ooh. Very aware there, Varain. Now it's all on Brute Monster.
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult position in that round, regardless from Kyofo. And interestingly enough, despite sort of being behind the whole round, I don't think there was ever actually an opportunity where I realistically think he probably could have got a kill.
Obviously,
Even as they were running through ramp, there was a player who was glued to hold him behind. He was basically running backwards while his team were all running forward. So I feel like even if QUAZAR spun out there, you'd have to hope he's best in that AK to get anything. Because otherwise, I think he's just getting taken down quickly.
It was really unfortunate. Once QUAZAR had those steps towards ramp, we saw a couple rotations down towards B, but the fact they all went up heaven, and, you know, as you mentioned, QUAZAR being held, it did become very tough, but we do see the full buy here for Zero Tenacity now, so you've got to imagine they're going to be coming with some firepower in this round, something potentially a little bit scary, but if CyberMD can win this one, they'll definitely be happy. Zero Tenacity, this is where they need to turn things around.
And they are back on their weapons. U2 isn't perfect, but every time we watch them on Nuke, they did look really exceptional regardless of their buy.
Yeah, I feel like the second they've got the kind of premium rifles in hand, I feel like it's safe to say Zero Tenacity do look great. But, oh, Nightman, great find onto Brute Monster. Was the key man in that game against VPProdigy, but still hasn't found a kill so far. Oh, the timing, not perfect for AVM, but Simka keeps him alive. That is the bomb, in fact. Nightman elevates himself up the vent. We'll find AVN. Kyofo falls as well. It's all on Namana and Simka now in this 2 versus 4.
Yeah, Nightman needs reinforcements from his teammates. Very low HP, and he could go down for 3 here. So now 3 versus 2. A lot of bodies coming from lobby, though. Simka, so many frags need to be found. The bomb's being retrieved.
Namana's going to be dropping down towards B. Oh, that is lovely from Namana. Just cancels the idea, but now they're aware it is going to be B. Is the bomb plant safe? Oh, no, it's not. But it does go down. Somehow Namana not quick enough to find the frag. So unfortunate there. They do take the round, but CyberMD have been given a little bit more money to work with in the next.
Yeah, I mean, despite Namana probably being able to find that bomb plant, a huge round from him. And obviously Simka as well.
A great partnership there between the two. Simka finding 2 kills towards lobby. Namana, did he find 3 in that round?
Simka found 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Namana found 2, I believe. But it was just the way that the kills were all found. Really important stuff from the 2 players.
The real scary factor for CyberMD is obviously Zero Tenacity. They did just win that round. Yeah, it came down to a 1v1, but I feel like the round, you know, that's the most important factor. The money isn't great for Zero Tenacity, but the thing you need to look at is, you know, we have players like Kyofo, AVM, Brute Monster, who didn't really have much impact in that round, didn't really find anything, and Zero Tenacity still won it. It's going to be a problem when players like Kyofo, like Brute Monster come alive in this game. I feel like once that does happen, that's when things can get really scary. And Charlie, Brute Monster's on the AWP. We saw Brute Monster dominating with a rifle in their last game on Nuke, but straight away not having the greatest of time. So we'll just bring out the big green, and it's clear to see why. Takes down Softic instantly there.
Yeah, I mean, what you got to think about this team, the Zero Tenacity side, is the round state that they win. The last round is a scrappy round. It's not a good-looking round, but Zero Tenacity do whatever they can to cross the line, and this is where the individuals step up. Winning these rounds can give them the confidence. You see Brumon to go for the early kill. Namana sneaking closer and closer. Finds a triple for his troubles.
I can't actually believe he was able to do that. It seemed as though he was just given the avenue past that smoke. Not a single player aware of even the prospect of it. And now look at the money for CyberMD and also for Zero Tenacity. They built it up nicely there with all players surviving. This is what we were talking about, Charlie. You know, CyberMD, they had a great start, but now it's the full buys. Now it's Zero Tenacity's turn. Well, this can be this fast,
it's nice, like you had having that buffer with 3 rounds, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it. Kyofo going to be tested towards ramp now, repositioning. They're just going to be able to get these kills for 3 as the techs at long range. A nice dink, actually. Nightman finishes him off with a Glock.
Has retrieved the M4 here, aware of the player under heaven. Drops the smoke. The flash will come in, though, and Namana very close behind. Oh, and timing's not perfect. Zero Tenacity, once again, they win another round with 4 or more players surviving. So look at the money they're making in this one. All things are back level. It is going to be this full buy from CyberMD. We might see some slight limitations regarding utility and weaponry on the T side.
Usual's not too bad, but Litovka, it's on that glow. I say that, they just swap it over. Not the best gift there. Having a glow and having an AK, sorry, and all of a sudden you got glow in your hands.
How did that even happen? Oh, AVN somehow not blinded by that flash. It seemed perfect. But we are onto this 3v3 now. A fairly close round for CyberMD. Oh, Softic finding the mana as well. Man advantage now for CyberMD.
Roma towards his heaven. Isn't showing himself yet. Nightman is aware that he's there. Delaying this plant's just going to allow Zero Tenacity to find a bit more control.
Kyofo slowly going to be flanking. I say that. We'll just go towards main now. Do you have the one flashbang on Brute Monster? Kyofo finds one. That's an important kill there. Not being quiet about his intentions. Spotted a player on the bomb site. Second is towards Hut. Oh, Nightman finds one, and Vorrain also takes down Brute Monster. So CyberMD, they don't give up the lead yet. They do find a round here.
Yeah, certainly still ready to fight this one. Take everything they've got, but Zero Tenacity, they still have the finances to go for another bite. It's tough to know what we expect from CyberMD, isn't it? It feels like we haven't seen too much from them this season. They're probably one of the few teams that haven't played nearly as many games. But I also think CyberMD have always been a team that's really, really tough to predict. Obviously, this is their first season in Challenger. Did make it up from Masters, but the performance wasn't even incredible. 5-3 wasn't enough to make it to playoffs. They lost in the first round, so we've seen glimpses, but nothing ever consistent.
This is a nice round, though, from CyberMD. So they got man advantage here. 2 players have been chipped down a little, but surely this is just going to be the save here for Zero Tenacity. They do have a lot of util if they want to go for this, but the kill kind of has to be gifted to them, and seemingly CyberMD aren't going to be making that mistake.
Doesn't feel like that. Yeah, CyberMD, this game, they have really impressed. I mean, the fact that Zero Tenacity are one of the teams that are 4-0 is very impressive.
Great start for CyberMD. But it's all about keeping it going.
Zero Tenacity with these weapons alive in the last. They're going to have somewhat of a buy again, but the pistols are all that accompanies them this time. So still going to be a very challenging round. Brute Monster peeks towards the squeaky door as Namana tries to creep his way into secret.
Just going to drop the one-way smoke as well. They are aware that there is a player in secret here.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of teams just sort of negate going towards secret as soon as they see that smoke. Just wait it out. Don't give them any sort of chance.
Ooh, Kyofo, though, going to be tested. Spots the gun barrel of one. Finds the first, but gets taken down by Litovka. Gets a nice double, though. Now they're going to be going towards round. Namana already been tagged down to 8 HP. B bomb site seemingly going to be the area of attack here for CyberMD. Oh, Vorain with a double, and it's all on the 8 HP Namana. Oh, Litovka gets 3 in this round.
I mean, really impressive stuff right now from CyberMD on the T side of Nuke. Really clinical. And it feels like we saw a glimpse of Zero Tenacity getting their way back into this game, but they've only been able to get a foot in the door and nothing more than that.
Clearly, it's not been so consistent for them.
And the fact that we could be seeing CyberMD, a team with not an incredible Masters sort of season last year, come into this and be an undefeated Zero Tenacity, could be a pretty big statement to make.
You know, I think as well, it's clear to see that, you know, regardless of who their opponents are, they focus on their own game. They don't allow it to get into their heads, because I feel like when facing off against, especially a team that are the kind of the top of the leaderboards as of right now, clearly would shake a lot of their opponents. But CyberMD, they look great on the T side. They've already found kind of the amount of rounds that you're going to be expecting, what you're hoping for. It's 6-3, Charlie. CyberMD, they're looking for more. They're hungry.
And I think that's what they have to find. They've got a good half already. The good isn't going to be good enough to beat a team like Zero Tenacity. So keep pushing, don't give up, and there's honestly a world where we could see CyberMD take the half sort of 9-6. Maybe even find double digits.
It's kind of ridiculous to think about. It's clear to see that CyberMD definitely favouring a map like Nuke. Util coming out towards A. Yoffo can't find the frag, does get the tag though. We'll just back away. Molotov towards Hell. Yoffo will find one before getting taken down. AVN does find Litovka. Back and
I was
forth,
sort of questioning why Yoffo didn't throw any util as he dropped. He didn't have any to throw.
That is rough.
They had about 4 pieces of util in that whole round. Yeah, there might have been a little bit more that was thrown instantly, but very, very little util, and it's really come back to haunt them.
Ooh, though we see the kill go the way of CyberMD, it was still a 2v2 there, as they did have a player disconnect. It's all on Brute Monster now. 1 versus 2 here. Smoke and 2 flashes, no kit in play.
Timon's actually looked good. He's been able to creep out these rafters quite wide, but I don't know if he'll be given any sort of peek.
And obviously, the problem is getting down silently. Doesn't really have the time to do it. Oh, that would look perfect there for Kreis. CyberMD, they find 7, and surely it's just going to be an eco here for Zero Tenacity as well.
1 round away from winning the half.
I think they probably
On
will.
this T side of Nuke, yeah, it looks inevitable at this point.
It's quite sad to see, especially as we did see, you know, such greatness from Zero Tenacity on Nuke in their recent form.
I mean, half their wins have been on this map. So, yeah, it's interesting to see they just really can't put any numbers up right now. Maybe it's just a day at the office, not as warmed up as they might have thought. I think it is just CyberMD being that 1 step ahead in this game.
I think as well, it also comes down to the fact that, you know, in their previous games, Nuke, it's been where Brute Monster's been dominating. Certainly had a very slow start here. And obviously, having a slow start on the T side isn't the kind of the be all and end all. You're kind of expecting to lose the T side anyway, but when it's the CT side, that's the one that you're kind of slowing up on. That's when problems really do kind of just, you know, they do show, as Brute Monster can come alive on the T side, but it's still going to be tough.
Yeah, I think as long as we don't see this be a complete blowout on CyberMD's T side, I do think there is a way Zero Tenacity can make this back. I think we've been very impressed by their Nuke already, and I think there's no reason why they can't have an impressive T side. But if they're sort of losing this half, 10-5, 11-4, then I think they're just not giving themselves any room to make a comeback.
Yeah, potentially it's kind of already over. I know it's still early doors. We've only had 10 rounds of play, but you've got to imagine a great T-side so far from CyberMD. Obviously, we are going to be resuming now. Just the pistols invested. We do have 357s, 2 PT50s. A little bit of a tag on Vorain. Wonder whether that's going to have any impact in this round. But kind of expect this round to go the way of CyberMD. That will allow them to take the half. It will be 8-3, and that's kind of ridiculous to think about. AVN might just drop himself down towards Vent. Softtech searching for a kill towards Squeaky. Hasn't been gifted one yet.
And we mentioned CyberMD pretty much can win that half. This round, you should be able to take it potentially with all 5 players surviving. Why is not incredible? No deals. The best weapons are these 5.7s. I mean, we have seen magic from these 5.7s in the past, but just how slow and cautious Zero Tenacity CyberMD are playing this, it's going to be tough for them to make these mistakes. But I like this outside setup. Could be seeing a flashbang from Namana. Spotted the player towards red box, take down Simka, and Namana's soon to follow.
Really unfortunate there. It seemed as though they did have somewhat of a setup going, but just got absolutely eliminated. We do have Kyofo already down towards B. Oh, Vorain gets the tag. Converts the kill as well, and now it's all on Kyofo. Tucked himself away towards Dark. Surely going to get found here. Oh, Kyofo finds one and the second. Not the third, though. 2 kills is alright, but...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that what's the 5 versus 1, 2 kills isn't too bad with that 5.7 and no armor, but the issue is it's not really going to probably affect CyberMD's economy for the rest of this game. I mean, their economy is pretty solid. Yeah, there's 4 rounds remaining. The only thing it really will allow is Kiosk to get an extra $600, and he's not even used it. He's got $800 in the bank.
We do have the AWP once again out for Brute Monster. Brute Monster currently 1-8. Really struggling on this CT side so far. That's a nice find there. Takes down Vorain. Now Zero Tenacity potentially around that, you know, something I haven't said in quite some time there. The ones in the driver's seat in this one, they've got that man advantage, but it's all about keeping it here. I like the angle that Kyofo's playing. Oh, but they might just be a little too fast for him. They proceed in front of the Molotov. It is going to be this B hit here. We have 2 players progressing down ramp, and Christ tasked with holding for the rotation. Oh, that is lovely from Latovka.
Yeah, we could actually see Softic get some perfect timing towards this ramp, and both the players line up. Brute Monster and Simka dead to rights, and just like that, despite Zero Tenacity having that early lead in the round, CyberMD deny anything.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Somehow, we do see a great... Like, how?
I mean, Zero Tenacity looked aware of it.
It looked perfect.
Yeah, they look really aware, but I feel like both players sort of go on top of each other a little bit. Brute Monster potentially couldn't get a sight line, potentially blocked his teammate's sight line. It's very brutal, but Kyofo get very aggressive. Finds one, but in the meantime, a couple of kills go the way of CyberMD. So man advantage now for the T-side team.
Brute Monster could have got himself on top of the railings, but opted to go towards Dark here. Might just get checked by Christ. Does get found. And I feel like the way that CyberMD are playing is they're not taking any liberties. You rarely see them kind of overlook an angle or a position. It's nice to see. I feel like that they kind of they don't want to make any mistakes, and rightly so.
They just left the orb.
I think they understand Brute Monster's going to get one out in the next. He's got 3k to his name. I think they knew it was an eco, so they probably could have got one out. Obviously, it will.
No one went to save that for Vorain, but I mean, I suppose they've got money, so
they got 7k. Christ is on 13. You know, they don't really need it. I think it's more about not giving kind of kills away to Zero Tenacity, because one, you know, they don't want to give any more money away, and similarly, I don't think they want to instill any confidence in their opponents. Zero Tenacity have been struggling to get frags this whole game, so no point just gifting some away.
Double digits found though for CyberMD on the T side. I feel like we've seen domination on Nuke, and you're always favoring the CT side, and we've seen some real CT side domination. T sides have only been able to get 2-3 rounds, but this is something we haven't seen in a long time.
Kind of ridiculous here. Obviously, yeah, as you mentioned, I feel like we very rarely see a team looking this strong on the T side. Clearly, CyberMD, though, just a different beast.
Two rounds remaining of this half. Zero Tenacity need to find them both, sort of, or I feel like this game could all be done. Rumors are still only on 2 kills after 13 rounds. Not convincing. Itofka goes 1 for 1 onto the bomb site. Man advantage now once again for CyberMD.
Yeah, the flashbangs were so good there. AVN died to a Molotov alone. It was the fact that he was just fully blind, trapped in the corner. Didn't want to peek out in the open and lose his life, but in reality, just fell to the flames. Brute Monster, though, has found his 3rd kill here. Is being held by Vorrain. Ooh, does find him, though. 2 versus 2 now. Kyofo slowly rotating in from double doors.
Kyofo almost has the double. Both players are here. And Kyofo imported that 2nd kill. Maybe a little too complacent there from CyberMD. Too hungry for that kill onto Brute Monster. Unaware that Kyofo could have been the undoing.
Still, though, CyberMD, they've got that 6-round lead. They found double digits, as we mentioned before. Even if Zero Tenacity do find this final round, you know, CyberMD is still very much so in the lead, and I feel like it's going to be a tough one for Zero Tenacity to come back into, but Brute Monster doubling his kills in that last round, potentially going to instill some confidence into his gameplay.
Rain getting aggressive outside. We haven't seen this from the orb yet, and the mana falls. He's played there a few times, and Rain clearly had an inkling he could have found that frag.
It's now Brute Monster to be tested with this AWP in play. Oh, not perfect timing. We'll just be able to back away. Needs to hit this shot here. Kyofo going to be rotating in. Oh, Kyofo keeps him alive. Softic has made his position known. 2 versus 3 now. Zero Tenacity a real chance in this one. Oh, Softic playing with fire.
Kyofo able just to get out of there and keep himself alive. Kyofo has sort of been a bit of a silver lining, I feel like, in this matchup. 13 kills, the only player on his team to have double digits so far, AVN. That's 5 Rain in the backlines and Softic. All that remains.
Not much util to work with. We'll retrieve this Molotov here. All these Zero Tenacity players are split, though, so does give somewhat of an opportunity for Softic here. We'll just fall back and go towards ramp. No defender here towards ramp, so we can be seeing this B play here. Softic isn't being quiet about his intentions. Oh, AVN's already down towards Secret. Very quick there. And Zero Tenacity, they find their 5th round.
Yeah, not an ideal situation at all for Zero Tenacity to find themselves in. I mean, look at that, Fred. They found their sort of rounds in a bit of a chunk. In obviously early on, and just those 2 rounds at the end, but it really wasn't convincing, was it?
Definitely not. Especially from a side that have looked so great on Nuke in the past. It's clear to see that it is just a bad day at the office. I feel like we've seen countless amount of times where Zero Tenacity, they do just have you know, a very nice read on it. You know, they play the CT side very nicely, but I feel like when you do just have a couple players who aren't performing to the level that we've seen in the past, that's when you can see these tough scorelines do come through, and that's clearly what we're seeing here today.
Second opportunity, though, on their T side now. Still going to be very challenging. I mean, I feel like this wouldn't be too strange a scoreline is if this was how the half ended with CyberMD being on that CT side, but it's obviously not what we saw.
Bit of a rough one, really. I feel like we really need to see somewhat of a change of pace here for Zero Tenacity, and obviously the pistol round being an important one to change that pace. A bit of aggression towards outside. Ooh, AVM with a lovely dink onto Vorain. Ooh, nice
Price finds one before backing off. So keeps this one level, but A's going to be the end goal here for Zero Tenacity.
Normally we would see Brute Monster on that P250. Has been given to AVN, I believe. So you've got to imagine maybe there's a little bit of self-doubt there.
Unless they maybe do it with who's playing best on the day. Other than that, yeah, definitely could be an element to it. AVN clearly making use of it.
Ooh, but it's all on Simka now. He's made his position known. Ooh! Nightman just going to have to stick the bomb. 10-second defuse it. Simka knows. Got a real chance. Yeah, there we go. The round's won.
Like, no, man, probably couldn't have a worse weapon for the job here. And Simka sort of just toying with him. Going for these jumping plays, I suppose you could call them.
Well, I think as well, when it boiled down to it, I feel like regardless of what weapon, I feel like we're going to be seeing the T's win that. Got a player in heaven, no kit to defuse, no utility. It's near impossible. You're going to have to make a really great play to win that out. And I feel like Nightman, just didn't have it in their locker, but I feel like you know it's like a 1 in 100 type round. It's so difficult to win.
Yeah, definitely a star in that one though. He plays with that B250. Itofka does find one with the USP, but the remaining kills are going the way of Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, just an eco though for CyberMD. I like this. They don't want to give away an extra round to Zero Tenacity. Obviously, the Force, if they lose the Force, they would give up 3 rounds, so they just opt for the eco, and I like it. I think CyberMD, they understand that they can't let Zero Tenacity have somewhat of an avenue back into this one, although they're finding the pistol. And obviously, that's next round. They don't want to give Zero Tenacity any chance, and I think it's the right play to make.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what CyberMD did on their T side. I think they respect Zero Tenacity enough to realise we can't sort of just, you know, take these sort of stupid risks as this game is won, because it's far from it. Mana crosses down into Secret alongside Kyofo. Looks unguarded for now. I say that as Nightman is holding the cross.
A little bit of chip damage dealt to either side, but look at the utility comparison, Charlie. CyberMD, they've just got a smoke and a flash remaining. Zero Tenacity, they've got so much util to work with here. And with 2 players already down towards B, things can work out for them here. Just drop the smoke. Nightman tasked with finding these frags. Oh, he's been spotted. Has been found as well. Great kill there from Kyofo. Surely this is just a fake. In fact, I believe they're going to be going towards A still.
Hasn't actually caused that much movement from the side of CyberMD. Price does find the mana on the ramp. Kyofo still here towards B.
Oh, Vorain elevated towards rafters, able to get 2. Brute Monster with the trade. Oh, Brute Monster in a near impossible round, and that is great from CyberMD. First full buy of the half, and they do find success.
Yes, it's tough there from Zero Tenacity, because there's not many times where the fake is better than the actual execute. Because you gotta think, if they probably just came there with 1 extra player who had the bomb, they probably could have won that round, but yeah, sort of got unraveled at the seams there.
Well, it was tough. They found that opening pick, and then I believe it was Kyofo that got taken down, bringing it back to a 4v4. There was only one player down towards B. It just really wasn't what they wanted at all. I feel as well, because there wasn't, you know, that additional outside pressure, the players were still towards lobby. CyberMD, they kind of knew it was a fake. That's a little unfortunate. We are going to be seeing the outside smokes being thrown. Potentially trying to get some Zero to Nasty players in garage. Ooh, Simka. A fair bit of damage. It is going to be this lobby aggression. Oh, they might get caught out here, but AVN does find one. Two players aggressing Squeaky. Latovka is aware, but Latovka finds another. Namana in the backlines will take down one. Vorain rotating in. Could find this player towards main. Does take down Namana here. And now it's Brute Monster and AVN in this really troublesome 2 versus 3. AVN needs to find Latovka here. Does take him down. Now it's a level playing field. But it's going to be a tough one for them.
Very hectic round. I see Brute Monster in the meantime pushing towards Heaven. Want to get in the back lines, and then as soon as he gets here, I imagine we'll see AVN join his teammate towards A.
Vorain's in a nice position, and so is Kryze. Vorain definitely aware of the idea of Brute Monster here, but it's all about timing. Oh, Brute Monster finds Vorain. 10 HP, the final player going towards lobby. So Tenacity, they can find this round though. They've got a real chance at it, but AVN needs to delay for his team. As Brute Monster's very low HP.
If AVN gets caught out, this round could be disastrous, but Kryze falls there. I mean, Brute Monster wasn't even holding the Heaven flank for a long time. Kryze initially was under Heaven there. If he just went up towards Heaven, I think he wins that round. He wins it comfortably, in fact, because Brute Monster just sort of would have given his life away for free, and potentially we either see a bit of trigger discipline or just a 1 versus 1 against AVN.
Either way, though, that round has allowed Zero Tenacity to creep ever closer to their opponents.
CyberMD probably can't put on much of a fight in this one. We'll separate this little gap by 2.
And that's when it's really anyone's game. Brute Monster got himself to 12 kills. Now had a very shaky start, but now on away from a positive KD, so certainly not going to be too unhappy with that. And sometimes it does just take a little eco round to bring your confidence back.
Yeah, sort of any round can really do it. Just sort of getting a kill or 2 in a round after a really tough game can just be all you need to sort of sway the tides.
Already a player down towards Vent. That is Simka with the Mac 10. We do have a player double doors here though. Oh, it is the Orb. Straight away, a Mac 10 getting upgraded to the big green. Great find from Softic though.
Yeah, really important find. In fact, AVN does get found. Softstick putting up numbers here, finds the first. Kyofo could be next to the chopping block, but Litovka on a flank. Namana falls. Man advantage now. AVN, not much health to play with.
Yeah, this one's going to be really tough here. Kyofo getting aggressive. He knows that he needs to be the hero in this one. Oh, and he certainly can. That kill, AVN's going to be delaying, and they're going to line up here. This is so dicey. Oh, Kyofo finds one. He gets the second as well. It seemed as though for a second there, Litovka was somewhat aware. But Zero Tenacity, they take the round. And now they're at touching distance away from their opponents. And this one should just be an eco as well. Zero Tenacity can level things up here. And you've given a side like Zero Tenacity somewhat of a chance back into this one. And I feel like they can take it now.
Real dire end to that round for CyberMD. Yeah, exactly like you mentioned. Giving them a chance. They've won 5 out of the last 6 rounds on this T side. I don't know what Nuke is today, but the T sides are really the ones stepping up. But the fact that that's not only going to build confidence for the players, it's going to apply that pressure to CyberMD. They were 1-1 before this. Like I mentioned, the only win they had was a forfeit win against Glitchtech, I believe it was. And you're 10-5 up on Nuke. As soon as Zero Tenacity find 10, make it 1 away from your current score, pressure is there. You're now going to start to get worried. This was a game that looked like you could start to dominate, and now this team, this beast, this 4-0 team, want to take everything you have away from you. It's a real scary position to be in for CyberMD.
It wasn't just a game that they looked dominant in. It looked like a game they'd already won. It was 10-5 on the T side. We never see that, especially on a map like Nuke. And now it's going to be a level playing field unless we can see these CT step up massively. Nightman does take down Simka. AVN finds Latovka though, and Namana, the kill onto Vorrain, just going to secure this one. They might not try and hunt him as well. They understand Nightman's going to have this saved AK. Zero Tenacity, they're going to level things up here. It's all leveled up, 11-11.
And on paper, you'd still favour CyberMD, but
I think
watching the game it's tough to do so, isn't it?
Well, yeah, level playing field on the CT side in that second half. You've got to imagine that CyberMD are going to have that slight advantage, but I feel like that's if you look at it from kind of you've just dropped into the stream or you've just dropped into the server and you see it's 11-11. If you kind of watch the first part, you know, we've seen 6 rounds here from Zero Tenacity on their T side, and CyberMD have only found 1 on the CT. It's seemingly both teams have a lot to work on their CT side, because I don't think it's the T dominance. I feel like both of these teams, they're just playing okay on the T side. You know, it's not something special, it's not something crazy. I feel like it's the CT sides that definitely need a bit of work, and it's clear to see here that Zero Tenacity, they've now got themselves back in this one, and potentially they can close it out now. But Christ getting very aggressive here towards outside. The flashes are brilliant. Do take down Namana. I love that aggression there from the CTs.
They are able to back away unscathed. Zero Tenacity looked like they wanted to get some sort of trade, but it wasn't to be. Vorrain able to have enough time to back off down. Molly missed. Can't progress any further. Yeah, this round looks a bit dodgy here from Zero Tenacity. A lot of things just going wrong. But maybe these are mistakes. Maybe these are the mistakes that come with the pressure of this matchup.
And I think as well, obviously, although Zero Tenacity are 4-0 so far, as we kind of mentioned a multitude of times, you know, I feel like 4 wins, although it was kind of easily passable for last season, it's not in this one. I think you're going to need to get at least 5 to guarantee your place in playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like that this season. It's going to be interesting to see the exact record that is going to be needed. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we saw last season there was teams that just couldn't scrape in and teams that did scrape in, whether they deserved it or not. So it's always exciting to see that sort of element to it. But Zero Tenacity, despite me saying they look like they've made a lot of mistakes, they're somehow finding these huge advantages. AVN isn't aware that the second play is also towards this vent, but it is the AWP from Vorrain, so I don't even think they can attempt it. They got full util and AWP, kit, head armor, everything.
If they save, I think Vorrain can drop over some weaponry here. Similarly, I think Christ can buy. It's going to be tough.
They are still on full loss bonus, so yeah, Christ can buy. Vorrain will be able to drop over. It's going to be 3.4k loss, so Litovka technically can get a buyout.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect, similar with Softic. So they could give it a go. The only person who's not really going to have a chance will be Nightman, and that's the one who could be dropped over. So yeah, there's definitely a chance we could see CyberMD buying this. Issue is, Fred, do you go for it? Obviously, we've seen CyberMD have these sort of buys where they just haven't had the best util, haven't had the best weaponry, whatever it may be, and they've struggled to convert those. What do you do in this position? Do you get the buyout, and this is the buy you're playing with, or do you wait until you get full util, full weaponry, maybe even a double AWP?
I don't know. It's tough because the AWP with the full util can't, like, an AWP in these rounds can always make kind of magic happen. I feel like what we could have seen is Vorrain drop over that M4 regardless and see a half buy. I think we could have seen the AWP in the M4, maybe an MP9 on a player like Crisis, you know, had a little bit more money, And I feel like you can still win around in those type of situations, but it's not all in. You're kind of not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're going for a half buy, but it's still fairly strong. You can still get the AWP out in the next as well. But I feel like potentially, yeah, I think just going for that half buy might be a better option. But still, CyberMD finding that opening pick there. It is Brute Monster to fall. What about you, though? What would you opt for?
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? Just because in a game like this, it's always tough to call anything, but I feel like you've got to go from experience. If you're struggling to convert some of these rounds, maybe it's better to take the hit. But if CyberMD win this, they clearly made the right choice. But if not, I think maybe you save and try to bring a double AWP out and see if that could be the solution to the problems. AVN opens things up. It's Sofka there for an important trade.
We'll just drop the smoke as well. Can just play around it. It might go down towards B here. We do have a player already down on the B site. Oh, Molotov giving away the position of the player Heaven, but Latovka doing a great job to find another. Vorrain already in the back lines. He's very low, but he's able to find one. It's all on Namana now. 1 versus 3 here. Does have the Molotov. Will land onto Vorrain. There's one creeping up his way towards Heavens and surely going to take him down. No bomb plant there, and seemingly CyberMD made the right call there to go for that full buy.
Yeah, money's not particularly that big an issue for Zero Tenacity just yet. Couple of players sitting comfortably over 10k, so weapons can be dropped and weapons can be bought. All level again, Fred.
Very back and forth here towards the closing stages. This is where it does come down to the wire, and one mistake could completely be the end for either one of these teams, especially as both are now 4 away from closing this one out.
Especially as the economy starts to get drained. That's when it can be so tough to sort of have a chance. The spam's good, and the mana does take Nightman down. 2-man lead. CyberMD, surely they just save this. I mean, yeah, look at Softic. I think they're prepared to keep holding these weapons. Be interesting to see if in a situation like this, if Zero Tenacity even attempt some sort of a hunt. Obviously, AVN, he's completely loaded. He's gonna have no issues, but the rest of the team, Kyofo, Namana, and Simka, not so financially stable, I suppose.
Yeah, the money's not perfect, but like when you've got a player like AVN, he's got 11k in the bank. You can always ask him for some pocket money.
Mana, does he go for anything after that? No. CyberMD are allowed to save all their weapons, which will allow them to get a buyout in this one. Weapons do get dropped over. The issue is for a team like CyberMD in this position, well, maybe there won't be that big an issue at all. They've all got enough money in the reserve, but they can get a buyout even if they lose this one. I was going to say, if they lose something like this, they could be giving up 15, but they will be able to constantly get these buys out, actually.
That's the beauty of the full loss bonus.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a curse, though, can't it, if you just don't have any money in the reserve, but... Or if you have just enough where you can get out, for example, like 80Ks, but very minimal util, so... But they do have enough where a buy can comfortably come out. On most of the players, at least. Softic finds the first.
Nice kill there. It's going to be this ramp hit now. Do have this double setup. Will eventually the rotation come through, but Vorrain won't be able to find anything. They are going to be still barreling down towards B. Already got 2 defenders here. Nice tag there from Simka.
Very hesitant Zero Tenacity to push any further.
We do have Brute Monster
towards lobby.
We do have Brute Monster towards the lobby, searching for a pick here. Obviously, man disadvantage, and we don't have a smoke here on Zero Tenacity, so trying to take the A-bomb site is going to be tough. Obviously, we don't have a defender in main, so not going to be the biggest of problems, but I think that's information that Zero Tenacity certainly don't have yet. They're going to be bursting out onto the A-bomb site now, searching for a pick here. They do find the first, but Latovka with the trade. Oh, but Zero Tenacity was so ready for that. Brute Monster posted up on the angle. He finds another as well. How's that not a no-scope? He was so quick there.
Yeah, it was a very quick scope there.
But
sometimes it's strange to think that sometimes the lack of util can actually benefit you on a side take. Because you get these players trying to swing in quickly to try to recover what their team failed to take. And it sort of just adds fuel to the fire. And you just saw, obviously, they found the 2-for-1 on the bomb site. Oh, no.
Just short, no, he doesn't have enough time.
Oh. What a moment in this matchup that could have been, though. Seeing a ninja defuse in literally right near the closing stages to deny Zero Tenacity 14.
Sadly, it didn't come through. I think if he was given an extra second there.
Yeah, I like the idea, I like the ambition behind that.
It's nice to see.
We do love ourselves a good ninja defuse. You got a ninja defuse recently?
I got 2 in the same day. It was brilliant.
Was it any ESCA?
It was in a basic game.
I swear you got one on ESCA.
Maybe. I know they call me the ninja in the server. You know, I do it all the time.
I mean, I thought we had another ninja, but
maybe.
Sadly, yeah, wasn't given the best opportunity, but very near the end of this game here. And Zero Tenacity, they're thoroughly cemented themselves in this lead. If they can win this one, CyberMD will have very little to play with. So much work is on Christ's shoulders, and he does find one, but is a 1-for-1 good enough as all of ramp gets given up?
Ooh. The softer stuff that's able to find the mana. It does have that slight benefiting factor. Obviously, Christ only getting one's not the biggest of problems, but it's seemingly, you know, the play towards main, time and time again, we've just been seeing these outside players get taken down, you know, for free, really.
The man had his knife out. And he wasn't running across, he was shifting.
If he got down there without being spotted, it would have been perfect, but...
If it just put your gun out just in case, at least have a chance. But Broom Monster does get tag team. Man advantage for CyberMD and Softic on a fast flank. The drop clearly hasn't been heard. Broom Monster finally gets the trade, but still so much more work to do.
Surely going to struggle in this one. Not even going to attempt it.
Yeah, the time's so limited. Keeping hold of this all. We'll just take one, I suppose, out of the hands of CyberMD. Keep the second out.
As we mentioned before, now we're in these kind of dying stages. This is where it is quite back and forth. CyberMD, they've really struggled though on their CT side, and one of the factors in doing so is the lack of the ability to string these rounds together.
Yeah, it really has been, in fact. Got 3 rounds on their CT side, and none of which strung together, like you mentioned. Yeah, all been very isolated. Namana finds the first. Softic with a quick trade, and Litovka on the back of the side. He doubles up, almost gets the triple, but AVN does shut him down.
Brute Monster switching to the tech, gets a lucky kill there. They drop the Molotov. Oh, he's heard him, and he spotted the player as well. One towards main, one in the heavens. Second Molotov will land. Does allow the bomb to go down. 2 versus 2 now. We need to keep their eyes on heaven, though. We are eventually going to see the swing from Kreis. He's out in the open. Brute Monster holding the smoke, waiting. Does leave his teammate in an easy 1 versus 1, though, for Kreis. Brute Monster. Oh, and there we have it. The round will go the way of CyberMD. I'm really not too sure why Brute Monster was kind of so fixated on the main smoke. His teammate was safe from main. All it would have taken was just a jiggle from Brute Monster, and he would have been able to kind of keep his teammate alive and also still hold towards heaven. But yeah, that was very weird. His teammate was trapped, and Brute Monster kind of just left his teammate to die, really.
You could even play sort of behind sight, holding main, and his teammate would be the one to take first contact if he played far back enough. Yeah, really interesting, and at least he could sort of have a quick attempt at the trade and just isolate the main player for a 1 versus 1 with him. But yeah, really interesting stuff. But obviously didn't pan out the way as Tenacity were hoping. I think they were just trying to win their individual gunfights, but at this stage in the game, team play is going to be the main difference. Interesting to know if CyberMD have hit their second win tier. They're finally going to come back into it. I feel like we see that a number of times where these long comebacks happen, but finally in the dying stage, in the final closing moments, the team that had that lead all that time ago finally find their stride once again. Nice lobby aggression. It is traded out though. Litovka, perfect timing, and Nightman doubles up as well. Boom, under the control of CyberMD now. Maybe they have hit their second win. Maybe this is it. Litovka, great peek onto Brute Monster. And in fact, money is an issue here for Zero Tenacity. You feel like it wasn't going to be, but I think the finances have failed them in the final round. Namana, this AK might be more important than you could ever think.
CyberMD, though, surely going to find 15 here. Lovely no-scope there from Varane. And look at the money that Zero Tenacity are going to be working with, Charlie. CyberMD, they can close it out in this round now. And as you mentioned, definitely had this second wind. Look at what Zero Tenacity have to fight with, Charlie. We've got 2 Galils, an AK, and 2 Tech 9s.
Certainly is doable, but I mean, the thing is, I'm not even confident predicting CyberMD at this point. It's just been one of those games where it's such a tough one to predict.
We've already got a player down towards Secret. That is AVN, but similarly, Softic. There and waiting. Oh, Softic finds AVN. Flash comes through. Oh, it is good. The top hut player has been blinded. Might get found here. We'll find one for his troubles. Oh, Kyofo finding Litovka. That's the top performing player getting taken down. It is this 3v3 now. Zero Tenacity, they've got a real chance in this one. They have just left Kyofo alone on the back of the site. He finds the first. Oh, and the second. It's all on Softic now. 1 versus 2. Oh, he's been spotted as well, and Brute Monster finds the frag, and we're going to overtime.
Yeah, CyberMD definitely had their opportunities really negated to even consider that player backside, and Kyofo just able to get a double. And obviously we saw Cry's just so focused on the kill he was already fighting rather than sort of trying to get the trade on his teammate and giving himself more space to move. But it's definitely an interesting round, and CyberMD, like I said, had their chance, but overtime is on the cards.
I feel like this game kind of deserves overtime. It has been so back and forth, and as you mentioned, even with CyberMD, the fact that they had, they had the better weapons, they were on match point, but you still don't know if they're going to take it. That's when it really does show how close a game is going.
No limitations now, all level playing fields. Zero Tenacity are starting on that T side once again. And obviously the all important number is number 19.
Nice find from Vore in there. Takes down the Mana. Ooh, I like this double back sight setup. Simcoe will be able to take down Nightman, but there's no way they're aware of Softic. Only able to find one though. Vore does get one, but gets taken down, and Christ in a great position here. Finds the first. Now it's all on Brute Monster. 1 versus 1.
How smart does Christ try to play this?
He's going back towards Heaven, so I'd say pretty smart.
Yeah. The issue is, if there's no peek at all, surely Brute Monster's going to start to be aware, but time's really ticking, and Brute Monster's got to get this bomb down, dropping the molly. He doesn't look aware at all. Time's ticking, and it could all be over. And Christ strikes, perfectly played, in fact.
CyberMD, they take the lead here in overtime.
You're saying they struggled early on their CT side, sort of getting any sort of form, any sort of momentum on it. First round could give them a bit of spark.
Tovka finds AVM with his nade. We do have the AWP of Varain here. Oh, won't be able to find anything. Lovely double from Simka. Let's see if main gets overlooked once again. Not overlooked, but
I'd love to know the sort of duel between Namana and Softic, because surely Softic won that about 100% of the time.
How's the Tovka got here?
He's got the bomb as well. Does pick up the AWP, but questions himself. All players both pushing up the ladder at the same time. Lidovka finds the low HP Kyofo as he fakes the drop. Simka, so much work to do as Softic wants his second of the round, and he finds it. CyberMD finds 17.
This is not looking great at all. Zero Tenacity. They need to find at least this final round here, especially as both teams had their dominance on their T side in regulation.
It's weird how sort of when you reach overtime, the game that you just played can sort of be irrelevant. Sometimes you see domination on one side of the map, and then all of a sudden the script flips, and it certainly has here. 3 quick kills coming through. Softic with a great double through a smoke, and Lotovka is not done yet, despite being on 2 HP, still pushes. AVN, all that remains.
Surely gonna get taken down here. We got a flank coming in from outside. Spams through the squeaky door.
This would be quite a clutch if AVN could pull this shot off, but his time is limited, and Varain finds it. 18-15. CyberMD finally found out how to play a good CT side.
Yeah, now things look very tough for Zero Tenacity. They need to win all 3. They need to replicate what CyberMD have just done here. And all we need to see is one round on the T side go the way of CyberMD, and they will take this one. What a game it's been so far. But yeah, I think you touched upon it perfectly. I feel like although both teams had that dominance on the T side, the second we got to overtime, you just forget about regulation. Treat it as though it was warm up, because now we're in the real stage of the game, overtime, and it's clear to see that CyberMD, although they were struggling on that CT side initially, absolutely brilliant here in overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Zero Tenacity, they do really need to step up here.
They might not even have the opportunity to do so. CyberMD, they've been great at finding these opening picks here. A warp on Vorain, opting against it. Potentially we're going to be seeing something fast here from the T's. A lot of players towards lobby. Ooh, Simka, Namana both finding a killer piece. Nightman and Softic with a lot of work to do. Namana takes down Nightman, has a Molotov as well to delay Softic's aggression.
Surely no way Softic can take this one. In fact, 100 HP still. Not so much anymore as he does burst his way up to heaven.
He's getting flanked on an AVN in a great position here towards Hut. It's just getting swung from all positions. Zero Tenacity, they find 16 here. 2 away from their opponents. As I mentioned, they're going to have to replicate CyberMD's success. We got Vorain back on the AWP in this one.
Nice nade onto AVN. Obviously, CyberMD only need to find one more round. If ZT find the remaining 2, we'll be doing it all over again. Second overtime.
Yoffo just going to be backing away. Sends the smoke as well. Where do they choose to lean, Charlie? That is the question, seemingly. Looking towards ramp, missed molly there from Kyofo, might make things somewhat troublesome. A nade just missing its mark.
Yuto looks like he's being used outside there, going to be selling a bit of a fake. Kyofo's just being an absolute nuisance towards this ramp. You want to know how to play ramp? Watch Kyofo. Just absolutely toying with his prey. And finally has back and he decides to drop.
But now the aggression comes through here. Man taking this control. We've got to play it down towards Secret here. It is Softic. He finds one. Just going to back away now. Oh, and things can go from bad to worse here. Kyofo will find one, but the trade comes through as Nightman takes him down. 4 versus 3 now.
Oh, Softic finds AVN and doubles up in vents and the mana. I can't even build up the storyline in time he gets found. And finally, Fred, we have our victors. It's taken long enough, but CyberMD do eventually close it out 16-19.
Absolutely ridiculous scenes. I feel like CyberMD, I feel like they had a great start on their CT side, and you've got to imagine it did kind of, or not on the CT side, on the T side, in fact, but you've got to imagine it was eventually going to boil down to their success. Not too sure what's going wrong with the cameras, but there we go, back to us. But yeah, a great round, great game there from CyberMD. I feel like it eventually was going to go their way as well after they found those 3 rounds in that overtime situation. But what are your thoughts after that one, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those games that sort of give the impression that just never be complacent, regardless of the scoreline you have. Keep fighting till the very, very end, because we saw it was a 10-3 at one point for CyberMD on their T side. And just those final 2 rounds that Zero Tenacity got gave them a bit of a chance, winning the pistol as well. Made that sort of go from a 10-3 to a 10-7 very quickly. And then, obviously, just from there, it sort of spiraled. It got a lot closer and closer. We obviously saw CyberMD just weren't able to sort of string any CT side rounds together. But if those final 2 rounds of CyberMD's T side went their way, I think we probably could have seen it finish 16-7, something like that. But yeah, it definitely sort of snowballed, and the momentum that I think we saw from Zero Tenacity was good enough to keep them in the game. But still, an impressive result nonetheless from CyberMD. Obviously, beating the undefeated or formerly undefeated Zero Tenacity, who were 4-0 up. That was CyberMD's third game, leaving them 2-1. So definitely leaves them in a better place for the rest of this season.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with that result, definitely. Obviously, CyberMD, they've got another game on their hands very shortly as well. That is against Hotu Esports, so that should be a good one. That should be starting in around 10 to 15 minutes. So make sure you guys grab a drink for that one, because it is going to be a great one. And maybe we can see 2 games in a row here for this CyberMD side. But that's been it from us, and we will see you in about 10-15 minutes once again after the break. Hello there, guys. How are we all doing today? We are going to be going into this second matchup of today. It is Cyber MD once again. They're playing 2 games in a row here against Hotu Esports on Overpass, so that should be a nice one to see. Hopefully for them, they can bring their confidence, besting Zero Tenacity on Nuke into this one. But what are your thoughts going into this game, Charlie?
I mean, Hotu have looked really good this season. They are 3-1 currently. And their only loss has been a 16-14 defeat to Into the Breach. So definitely nothing to scoff at. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was a bit of a comeback from Into the Breach as well. So Hotu, they did have the opportunity to close that one out. And I feel like a lot of teams are going to be looking at Into the Breach and thinking, yeah, they're one of the teams that are probably going to challenge for the whole title this season, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Cyber MD, we obviously saw their first proper win earlier today. They are 2-1 with a forfeit win and a big result against Zero Tenacity. This would be another great game for them to win.
Yeah, we're going straight into this one, really. Pistol round has commenced, and Cyber MD going to be starting on this CT side here on Overpass. Obviously, we saw from their nuke, the CT side wasn't looking too strong, but that is a great find from Gokushima. Takes down Vorain early on towards middle. No kit in play here for Cyber MD, so that could be somewhat troublesome. I like this gamble towards B, though. Potentially the perfect call here. But look at this. Oh, short water's been taken from Cyber MD, and now they're deciding to rotate up towards A. The util will come over. Litovka might be able to find this kill here. That is the bomb carrier, in fact. Oh, I love that.
Pushing straight through. That is so aggressive, but it completely catches Cyber MD out. Just these 2 short players remain. They do get the bomb dropped, but still look at all these bodies towards the site. In fact, they're making it work somehow. Ruler shuts down Litovka.
It's all on Christ now. 1 versus 3. We got a player in heaven as well. Gokushima surely going to take him down. There's in fact Ruler to find the frag. Ruler gets 3 in that round, and Hotu, they start things off nicely here on the T side.
I mean, T side Overpass, obviously not the easiest sort of half of CS to play, but these early rounds can be very crucial. Cyber and they are just going for this eco. They want to get these M4s out as soon as possible.
We saw it from them on Nuke as well. Potentially the right play to make. Obviously the Deagles not going to be perfect. Ruler going to be getting aggressive here. Oh, fully blinded. Nice flashbang there. We'll go 1 for 1. Oh, Softic able to find 2 in this round, and Mizus very low HP. It's a 2 versus 2, Charlie.
Great damage has been dealt already. Even if Hotu do just close this round here, definitely good looking play from Cyber MD. Gonna still see Swift still testing in corner, or maybe not actually, as they're heading towards the A site.
Obviously, you know, they're going to be getting a full buy in the next. They might as well try and find a pick here. Ooh, player spotted towards short. Molotov will land. Forcing him back. We do have this player towards ABC, though, as you mentioned. Case will find 1. Gets the second as well. But as you mentioned, a great round from Cyber MD.
Yeah, just really weakening the economy of Hotu as much as possible. Allowing a bit of kill reward to come through as well for Cyber MD. So it's going to be interesting to see whose buy is going to be better in this one. The 4 rifles. And the use is reasonably similar, so probably a reasonably similar buy, yeah?
Yeah, we've got 1 limitation in regard to the rifles, seeing as we got Swift Steel on a Galil and Nightman using the FAMAS.
No defuse kit though for Cyber MD. Be interesting to see if that has any repercussions.
Hotu going 2 rounds up early. They can find this 3rd one. This should be good for them, as it will just force Cyber MD onto somewhat of a force buy. Half investment, maybe some Deagles and armor. Flash will come through towards Divider. Now the swing comes through as well. We got 2 players towards toilets, and as this smoke fades. Ooh, they do find 1. Vorain with the trade as well. Oh, Litovka's so deep here. Let's find 1. Aware of the second as well. The steps have been heard. It's all on Ruler now. 1 versus 3.
They should just be able to get out of there. Oh, surely this angle is going to favour Litovka. Oh, it just backs off.
No need to take this aggression. Ruler has to clear all of these angles. Player in short as well. Nightman will take him down, and Cyber MD, they find their first round on the board here.
Early tag called here from Cyber MD. Money. You can see what that sort of eco round did to the economy of Hot 2. That was a cleanly won round. I would have easily had a buy in this, but far from it.
Seeing a lot invested here for Hot 2, though. They're going to be forcing in this one. Look at the weaponry they've got to work with. Swift Steel potentially going to be on a Tech 9. Potentially a B
real lackluster buy. Yeah, you sort of have to favour something like that. A B or a column hit potentially might be the best of use. Towards B, does a decent amount of damage. The spam connects to do even more.
It's going to be this short hit. We do have a player outside Monster as well. That is Swift Steel. The flashes will come through. Nightman dodging them though. Able to find the first and the second. Just going to be backing away here. Litovka finds one as well. Both these players are fully blind though, but Litovka surely can find this final player on the bomb site. It's all on Gokushima now. Tech 9 and Molotov in hand.
Yeah, surely not much he can do unless he's gifted a couple of kills, but it doesn't feel like Cyber MD are going to get too inquisitive.
Cyber MD, they can take the lead off this as well, as it should just be an eco from Hotu in the next.
Gokushima still just waiting towards short, hoping something gets gifted. Spots the first player. Drops the molly, but gains no control from it. And Litovka finds the final kill. 2-2, all leveled up, but that was the full investment from Hotu with not much to show from it. Another tag ball's called. Despite just being up against the eco.
They don't really want to make any mistakes, and I like it.
Yeah, maybe these tags should have been used in Cyber MD's last game.
Potentially. Well, this
So you got right down to the wire. I mean, clearly, maybe they just forgot about them and they just realised, oh wait, we heard all those tags. We've got to make sure we use them. And they're definitely doing that now. I can't imagine they're going to struggle much with this round though. As we're surprised if Hot to invest in anything.
They really don't have the money to do so. It should just be the Glocks, and I feel like Nightman bringing out this MP9 a great play to make. Potentially short will be contested here from the CTs. We're going towards long with these Glocks. Worrying with the instant rotation. This is all going to be on Kreis. When instantly gets overwhelmed there. The bomb can go down here for Hotu.
Yeah, that's sort of what they've been aiming to get. They've got it. Mission accomplished. Now let's see how much damage they can do.
Okay, switching to the burst fire. We'll find one. Gets taken down by Softic here. 3 versus 2. Oh, and Softic finds Roulette. Mizuxa can't find anything. Third round found from Cyber MD, but Hotu getting the bomb plant. Good.
I mean, not too bad there actually for Hotu. Bomb plant and 2 kills with nothing but the Glocks. You can't really ask for much more.
Yeah, definitely not going to be disappointed with that.
Orp is out for Varain. I don't feel like we saw an unbelievable amount from him with the Orp on Nuke. But this could definitely sway the tides. Player towards party has been mollied out, and Varain finds one in con.
Ooh, Christ as well. We'll be able to get one before Zukza takes him down. So man advantage here for CyberMD. Obviously an important round for Hotu as it will allow them to level things up here. Varain just backing away just as we see Mizuka aggressing through the smoke. Oh, Swift still does find one.
Leveled up again, flash towards the A site. Mizuka's just going to be the fake. Even more utils getting dumped out. Still, there is this player towards short, and Swift still spots him. B site open for the take-in. Flash over, and Gokushima's running. Bomb on his back.
Varain jumps in towards water here with the AWP. Gonna get taken down by Swiftsteel. Swiftsteel's done so much in this round. And Softic will get taken down through the smoke. The AWP can be saved as well.
Unaware and did get found.
Obviously, we see the full investment from both sides here. You'd have to favour Hotu, realistically. So they've got...
Util was really lackluster on CyberMD, in fact. Oh, these spams look spot on. Not fully connecting, though. Just 30 points of damage with those spams. Look how passive Hotu are playing this here.
Yeah, they don't really need to take any aggression now. We do have Ruler lining up the flash towards toilets. Well, it is good, but also blinds his teammates, so no aggression from that.
Swift still tasked with retrieving that bomb, as A certainly looks like the final destination for Hotu.
Yeah, look, we've got one smoke on CyberMD to delay. They do have the 3 flashbangs, but look at the difference in the utility. Hotu's surely going to be overwhelming the CTs here. As the smoke fades, though. Oh, the spams are good once again. Varain should be backing away. The Molotov could, in fact, keep him here. There's still 2 players defending towards A. Softic will find one. Gokushima's all posted up on the angle. We still have this player on the back of dice, but Varain finds nothing.
Both these plays were coming up with con, but Nightman second guesses that decision as his teammate falls in front of him.
A very back and forth game here so far. Hotu now will be the ones to take the lead. Surely just going to be an eco from CyberMD in the next.
Yeah, must be. Could allow Hotu to sort of extend their lead by a bit. Sort of just try to take control of this T side. They've already found 4. And the next, like you said, should be an eco, in fact. So that could give them 5. And from there, you're getting very close to having an already good T side.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of expecting, 5-6 rounds on the T side. Obviously, from that Nuke game, that's what we were expecting. We saw both teams finding 10 on that T side. So, not to say that Hotu can't have a similar story to both CyberMD and Zero Tenacity on Nuke. I feel like we can see the T's dominate here on Overpass. The next round going to be so important for CyberMD. It's kind of not do or die for them, but if they don't find the next, they should statistically be giving 7 to Hotu.
Yeah, with potentially plenty of rounds left to play, that could only extend. Dovka does fall, was just the USP, and now Nightman with this saved M4 is doing damage, eventually gets found, but a 2 versus 2. Huge response there from Christ.
Bomb is in fact dropped towards the top of the ladder. Gokushima going to be aggressing here towards middle. Will in fact go down towards Con. CyberMD. The question is, do they opt to play this one together, or are they going to leave the kind of defense being split?
I think you have to play together. I mean, I'd probably switch the weapons around and have sort of Christ entry, just like USP, and hope that a quick trade can come through and put yourself in a 1 versus 1.
They have in
Right
fact,
now, it does look like they've chosen the wrong bomb site.
I have time to go down though. In fact, we do just see Hotu going for a contact play, but Softic getting very deep towards long. Now the util being thrown out towards B. Bomb obviously can go down.
Both players coming from Con.
Might just be saving these weapons.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to, in fact, and when you consider it, it's actually probably the better play. Vorane, he's on 1.3k. Next round, after the loss bonus, he'll retrieve 3.7, so not exactly enough to get a full buyout. And you look at a player like Litovka, he's not going to be sitting much better at 4,350. When you consider M4 armor, util kit, it's not going to be perfect, so I think saving these weapons could be the smarter decision.
And it does kind of give them a full buy in the next. Obviously, Christ and Softic could... I think Christ should drop over to Vorane, and then everyone can have a fairly strong buy. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but... will still be a good one.
Certainly going to be better than what it could have been.
Yeah, there's only slight limitations on Litovka. There are 4 sets of full util in comparison to Hotu's 5, so it's not really that much of a big difference. Obviously, no AWP on the CT side, which is somewhat going to be troublesome. Oh, that's a lovely flash. Christ able to find one. If he was a bit quicker there on that first kill, he could have potentially got a double there.
Smolly's forced them forward, but Vorane does find the kill. The damage done, though, onto Christ and Vorane are definitely significant.
And the fact that Vorane was aware that the flash was coming, just dodged it, then found the kill, was very nice there. Obviously, as you mentioned, both of these players taking a lot of chip damage early on isn't going to be perfect, but with the 2-man advantage, you've got to imagine CyberMD should be able to take this one.
I would favour them, but definitely can never count Hotu out. Oh, the missed jump there from Case. Called off this boost. They would have actually been able to follow this play towards barrels as well.
Yeah, potentially could have been their avenue back into this one.
Yeah, definitely costly. Gokushima gets found by Softic. 5 versus 2 now. Case does get one back in Hotu's favour, but B is going to be the lean. Swift still a nice shot. One more player in water, though. Surely not going to expect this. Litovka doubles up.
CyberMD now 1 round away from their opponents. Mentioned how Hotu could have taken a big lead there, but CyberMD winning that round, very important there, and it's all about stringing them together.
No out for Hotu, despite the fact that they could have bought one.
Swift still definitely could have invested in one, but maybe Gokushima, aware that the AWP might not be the best play here. Obviously he's having a fair bit of impact, but potentially not as much as they want. So might just go for the AK and be a little bit more kind of mobile.
Yeah, it always interests me when these teams sort of have a good AWPer and they sort of decide against bringing out the AWP. Makes me think they've got something in the locker, something where they want to sort of go with a bit more of a pack mentality. We could be seeing 2 boosts on either side of this wall. Both teams do dismount.
That would have been absolutely awesome to see.
Yeah, I think a spam, a bit of audio cues sort of gave that away, and they just decided, yeah, let's not go for this play. Molly towards barrels is going to force Nightman out. I say that as a smoke comes over from a teammate.
Still this 5v5 situation here. Util fairly similar on both sides. Flash comes through and oh, it's near perfect, but it just misses its mark. And Swiftsteel and Gokushima both find a killer piece. Obviously, 3 players have been tagged down for this Hotu side. Oh, this boost from Christ, it could be perfect. Spots the first, takes down the bomb carrier. Information on the player short, and they know there's 2 players in water as well from their footsteps. 2 versus 3 now. This is still doable. Oh, but the counter boost! That is awesome. Such a creative way to find that player towards ABC.
Yeah, real brilliance there. And CyberMD, their money, it's gone down the drain. 7 looks like a guarantee now for Hotu. I say that, though. Last eco got very close. But they did have a saved M4 in that.
Hotu have looked very nice here on the T side. Aggression towards middle. Case has got all this info. Finds the first and the second. Oh, the third. Oh, and was that on fire? No, Ruler got,
that was
got
the
one.
fourth. Yeah, Ruler got one. But the fact that you've got to think everyone stayed alive there. Obviously, nice bit of kill reward there from Case. And just an extra 1.2k in the bank. But just the more important thing is everyone survives. They didn't use that much util. I mean, the fact that Ruler didn't invest in anything. Swift still 400. You've got players like Goku. I mean, the most was Case. He spent 1,050 in that round. So you think they've really sort of saved a lot of finances. But Varain with a nice spawn takes out Ruler.
Instant man advantage here for CyberMD. Could potentially just be...
Oh, Christ. What has he done to take all that damage? No, there's not even a T towards A.
The team damage?
I think there might have been a molly thrown and Hotu just left, but so much damage done. Nightman with a double, surely just going to heavily bait in Softic. Not Softic, Litovka, but he does find one at the end. At least has impact, and Hotu keep 5 alive, and CyberMD do the exact same. But theirs was against a full bite.
Great round there from CyberMD. Obviously, Hotu, they're going to be happy with their half regardless of the outcome, but with 3 rounds remaining, you've got to expect them to find at least one. They've looked great on this T side so far, and, you know, I feel like them taking the half, you know, it isn't going to be something that we aren't kind of waiting for.
Definitely wouldn't be a surprise to see them do it. And I feel like they definitely primed themselves to take it. Like you said, I think we're at least expecting them to find one more. And I feel like if this ends 8-7 in the favor of CyberMD, that's where there might be a bit of disappointment from Hotu.
And I feel like it's tough when you have, you know, a really good half, but it's still disappointing because it, you know, kind of what it could have been. I feel like that's something that you sometimes a little bit overlook. You know, after 15 rounds, yeah, Hotu, if they find 7, definitely a strong T half, but I feel like the fact they could have done so much more, that's where they're going to be disappointed. Oh, Christ, able to find one. Looked as though he could have definitely found some more, but a little bit unfortunate there. So there's 4 versus 4 now. Very limited utility, though, from the CTs, and that might be their downfall in this one.
Ruler could get caught out for rain. Timing's not perfect for him. He does go 1 for 1, but he definitely could have backed off.
Player behind this long smoke here. Case can be pushing through. Oh, it's perfect. Does find Softic. The B bomb site. They're going to be rotating off it. No one on A. Oh, and they emerge through the smoke and they get eliminated. Case and Ruler.
And money's really a bit shot now for CyberMD. 2 rounds left of this half, so might want to try to keep hold of that. In fact, CyberMD have gone for the force thread. Look at the util. They have 2 smokes to play with. No diffuse kit, no head armor. Obviously not going to be that big an issue unless see some T start pulling out the Glocks. But yeah, this is definitely a risk here. This could actually give up 10 to Hotu. Ruler does get dropped though by Christ. Quick trade from Gokushima. Mizusa finds another emerging from Con. Really back and forth round. Orb doesn't get retrieved from Litovka. And in fact, it might be more beneficial. 6 HP. He's doing so much work still. Finally gets the orb just to get taken down.
It seemed perfect there for Case, but got eliminated there. 1 versus 2 now for Swift Steel.
This is going to be a really, really challenging round, but still definitely doable. The lack of util and diffuse kits are still big question mark in this round. CyberMD have gambled towards A as well, so Swift still has free run out this B bomb site.
If they're going to be clearing out all of this toilets control, then eventually we'll get somewhat inquisitive towards the B bomb site. So Swift still definitely going to have to start to go now. But look, yeah, they've taken all this aggression here. Another smoke can be retrieved, but they are just going straight down towards Connector, and the door is open. They can just creep their way down silently, and Softic has done that exactly. Bomb will go down, but Softic takes down Swift Steel. Are they saving the AWP? Yeah, they're just delaying to save that AWP.
They're doing what they can to grab that.
Obviously, Hotu, as we mentioned, out of the final 3 rounds, have already won 1. It's all about whether they can find that 9th. Obviously, money's not perfect. We obviously have AKs and utility on everyone. Case without any flashbangs, but not the biggest of problems. I'd say you'd have to favour CyberMD in this one. Obviously, they've got the AWP on Vorrain. He's just backing away.
Yeah, if Hotu can win this, they're really priming themselves to sort of continue their streak on their CT side. And you've got to think, Fred, even if Hotu, if they find 9 and lose the pistol and a force buy goes against them as well, it'll still be at 9-9, but they'll be on the favoured side. So it just doesn't have nearly as many sort of repercussions. So this 9th round could be very important for Hotu and could lead to disaster for CyberMD.
No kills found though in this round so far. See, a lot of utilities already been used for Hotu, and I love this setup here towards A. Vorrain finds one towards long. Soft tick takes down Swift Steel. Christ as well finds Case. It's all on Mizusa. Spots the first, aware of the player towards toilets. We'll find him. Ooh, onto this 2 versus 2. Now this is fairly winnable. Smoke will land. Really going for a gamble plant.
Yeah, it's going to be a safe plant regardless, and Litovka forces something too much. The low HP Mizusa still able to do the damage and find the kill. Really primed to be a Hotu round, but look how deep Nightman is.
Out in the open, but Ruler in a perfect position here. Oh, does find the frag, but got somewhat dicey there. But Hotu, they do find 9 here on the T side, and a near perfect half. They're definitely going to be ecstatic with that result.
Yeah, you're not really going to get too many better T sides than that. Really impressive stuff. I mean, we saw obviously against Zero Tenacity, clearly CyberMD play these maps in unconventional ways, and their stronger sides seem to be the weaker side. So, be interesting to see if they can have just as good a T side as Hotu.
It might just be a very T-sided team. I feel like a lot of teams always going to be favouring that CT side, but you know, if you've got that crisp clinical aim, got the AKs over the M4s, I feel like why not? Why not be a T-sided team?
I think not as common anymore, but definitely sort of can still be used in this meta. Yeah, like you said, you do need that very strong aim just to be able to sort of break into these bomb sites when you're individual frags. But pistol round of the second half. If Hotu win this, they could find themselves 11 or 12 rounds.
And that's a little scary to think about.
Just bringing themselves within touching distance of that all-important 16. Gokushima just spamming away, hoping something connects, but info has been gained. Varane is getting pushed towards short, and he's dealing with it very well.
Mizuxa just completely trapped there. 5 versus 3 now. Still have the kit on Swift Steel, and Ruler clearing out all of this area. It's now Gokushima to be tested here. Surely just trapped, gonna get taken down. Easy kill for Christ.
Very dominant looking pistol around here from CyberMD. It is still a kit on Hotu, but finding 5 kills and defusing the bomb seems like a near impossible task.
Especially with Ruler going down.
Pistol does go the way of CyberMD. Do we see this force spike from Hotu? We obviously saw CyberMD opted for the eco on their second round.
Obviously, Charlie, as you mentioned, even if CyberMD, facing it against this force buy from Hotu, even if they win it and then win the next, it's a level playing field and Hotu are on the favoured side. You mentioned it earlier. I feel like even with CyberMD winning the pistol, it's not even the biggest of problems here for Hotu.
Hotu opting for a B stack in this round just with the USPs. Absolutely nothing invested. CyberMD are slowly clearing out A. For some reason I thought Nightman had a P90.
Why not? Bring it back.
Interesting weapon to see.
Has it ever been back? Was it ever
used in Pro Live? I mean, it was used. To be fair, pros probably used it. In fact, probably not actually. A lot of pros didn't even sort of.
What is
even
an SMG?
Start off at silver. Obviously, started playing the old previous CSs. You ever played any of the previous Counter Strikes?
So I'm fairly new to CS. I say fairly new. I've been playing for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. But no, I wasn't blessed with playing any of the previous CS. What about you?
You see, similar to you, I obviously started on Go, but
that's generally when people start. 3, 2, 1, go.
I started on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but yeah, I started in about 2015. But I have got all the previous CSs, and I have dabbled in them a bit. But strangely, the CS I've played most is CS Condition Zero, which was just a single-player CS. And there are these strange missions. But there might be multiplayer on it. I've never seen multiplayer. I've only played the single player. But yeah,
that's the one you played the most.
That's the one I've obviously not more than CS:GO, but that'll be impressive.
I was gonna say I've seen your hours.
Yeah, that'd be.
What do you? How
8,000 hours in Condition Zero. Not that much, but it's nice sort of going back to the old CS and just sort of seeing the roots of this huge esports now and sort of what the sort of titles that led before it. Yeah, it's always fun to see, and I'd love to see if we they added some of this stuff into Global Offensive and sort of got these sort of fun single player missions. And
I think we've
that sort of stuff.
We've sometimes had it with operations when you have kind of like those type of missions. I find them pretty fun, but that's because competitive plays are not that fun. Losing every game, still seeing silver. It's just painful.
It was just something. It was a different feel to the operations. It was strange. It felt
like a different. It felt like a different part of the game.
You could build your team with these bots, and they different traits and stuff. But I never used the bots. I like to. Yeah, you had these actual bots and stuff, and you could add to your sort of task force. But I always just went in 1v5, and the bots were decent as well on it. So maybe it was not easy, but it was fun.
Were the bots decent, or were you just?
Well, I hope they would be, because the whole point of the game is playing against bots. So if they're all terrible. Probably not a great game, but in this one though, CyberMD do find the opening kill. Still 3 players towards B for Hotu though. That does look like where CyberMD is planning to go. I say that as they're emerging out of con as the bombs towards A as well. Only one defender. That is Medusa.
It's going towards the long toilets now. Might be perfectly timed. Surely soft tick though. Did he spot him? Oh, clearly, yeah, Vorrain. Very much aware here. Just going to be backing away. Timing's perfect. Does find Mizuxa. Oh, and Cry still towards short water. And CyberMD are going to be leveling things up here. Clearly still favouring the T side on all maps.
Yeah, obviously, still early days on this CT side for Hotu, but yeah, definitely looked a bit lackluster there. Obviously, they sort of gambled or let more towards B, but just the individual fights are all going the way of CyberMD. I feel like an AWP is going to be a necessity for Hotu. Get Gokushima on that as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely, especially on that CT side. Gokushima's not had the greatest start of a game here, but obviously, when bringing out the AWP, I feel like we definitely will see that top tier level from Gokushima.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really going to get many more sort of AWP-favoured maps than Overpass. So, sort of, especially the CT side as well. So I feel like if you ever need an AWP to get to their peak or have an AWP as much impact, this is the map to do it on.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, just a half buy out for Hotu in this one, alongside Swift Steel's M4.
Yeah, just a couple of pistols out as well. Only 2 players have armor, so if Swift still goes down, Mizusa should be the one trying to retrieve that.
Oh, and that's
there's the M4 gone. Yeah, that's just taken out the round instantly. CyberMD, they've really got a good feel for this T side. They haven't even challenged any of these pistols yet, but they made it all the way towards this A bomb site. Softic could get found.
Oh, that is a lovely nade.
Well, the pistols have just got a couple of kills quite quickly. Still going to be far from easy. Surely Case can't double up.
Let's get taken down by Vorrain.
And that M4 has been retrieved, or a M4 has been retrieved, and Mizusa is just getting out of there with that ruler. Let's see if he can get any more exit frags, do even more damage. No, knows the answer to that. I'm not sure what the idea was there.
I thought the bomb was towards default, but surely he would have spotted it.
It didn't even have a kit. I mean, I understand, like, I like, ooh. Honestly, if he could find one tag with that deagle, he probably could have taken down 2. But, yeah, obviously, I do love the idea of, sort of when players are just about to run away from the bomb site, even if you don't have a kit on those sort of rounds. I know I love to do it, and you see it a few times as well in this higher level. Just sort of tapping that bomb. Just, you know you're not going to be able to win the round, but the fact that they don't know 100% you don't have a kit, they have to run back. And there's a good chance you can take a couple of down with the bomb. Inferno is probably a map it could work perfectly on now, with this sort of bomb radius being pretty ridiculous.
Oh! Swift's still somehow aware of that before Vorrain found the frag
as well.
How did he know?
Surely just unbelievable amounts of awareness. Gokushima gonna get tested. I say that as Mizusa somehow in playground only finds one though. Gokushima's in a really awkward situation. Doesn't have any teammates to back him up. He does miss his mark, so Gokushima can still stay around here.
Ruler slowly going to be aggressing as well. Gokushima. Oh, that seemed like a perfect shot for him to hit. How is he still alive? Oh, he's able to find one. Gets the second as well. And Ruler in the back.
Comes in the back lines. What we saw there was, I mean, not only perfectly played from Gokushima, just the fact that he played it so well that in those situations, you get so pressured and it often makes you sort of force a fight. We didn't see that from him. very slow. Only sort of went for a fight when he sort of had a guarantee. Yes, he did miss his shot, but it just... You understand the reasoning there, but it also took so much awareness and vision away from all the other teammates. So you saw Ruler able to get on that flank and able to get in behind and just be a sort of damage dealer himself.
Oh, Christ, able to find one. Trade comes through there for Case. And disadvantage here for Hotu.
Two players towards short. Case did get flashed in, but didn't get any information, so it could be a bit misleading.
Still the man advantage here, though. Smoke will land. There is a slight gap, though. Oh, and this might be very costly.
Bomb site's open for the taking. Warp shot. Tried to find Varane through the wall. Couldn't connect. Surely has to be a save here from Hotu. Cyber MD, they must be a T-sided team because whatever it is working.
And they look ridiculous here. And potentially, I feel like a lot of teams generally will do a lot of kind of preparation on the T side. I feel like the CT sides, you can throw in a couple kind of very crucial rounds and great plays, but I feel like clearly Cyber MD have worked massively on their T side, and you know, you can see from the scoreline alone, they look brilliant on this. Gokushima will be able to get one, potentially going to be hunted here. We do see Nightman seeming somewhat inquisitive.
These two CTs will be allowed to keep hold of their weapons. They can... Oh, I was going to say they can invest if Gokushima dropped, but no need. They can get a buyout anyway. But still, also need to change something up. They've only found one round on this CT side. Cyber MD all grouped up towards this B-bomb site. Outside of Monster, Flash is coming over now. It's going to be a quick attack. Case, full blind, finds one.
Oh, Christ, surely
does get dropped, but yeah, 3 versus 3. Somehow Christ keeps himself alive.
The bomb is at their fingertips, though, and oh, Christ will go down. Swift Steel spots another. We do have this flank coming through as well from Mizuka.
There's a good reason they'll be aware of this, and Varane has had a bit of an altercation, but hasn't been able to find the kill.
What, 10, 15 bullets through there?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they also fought before that as well. So probably a whole mag traded between the two players.
We see 11 to 11 here, and we are going to be seeing Cyber MD investing in this one. At least Varane fully bought. Litovka as well. Gone for that similar kind of mindset. It's a kind of a mismanaged buy. We've seen 3 people fully invest. Nightman and Softic with a little bit more in the bank.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the sort of game plan is here. Loss bonus isn't even good enough that Softic's going to be able to buy. So it's... yeah, it's an interesting one. Mizuka takes down that rifle. Just these pistols and Mac 10s remaining. The flashes flying over from Ruler.
And now we're going to be seeing the retake coming through. Oh, that is nice. They find the opening pick. This is 3 versus 5 now. Varane going to be going towards long. Gokushima held long for quite some time, but surely this round is all said and done. They've got no avenue into this one. Ruler able to find one. Gets another. Gokushima takes Varane down towards long, and Hotu, they take the lead here.
Yeah, and a bit of a risky sort of effort there from Cyber MD. Very similar buy. Almost the exact same buy. Replace a couple of those pistols Mac 10s, and you've got near enough the exact same buy from Cyber MD. It's Nightman's turn to have a go with this rifle. And 13 surely is on the cards now for Hotu, and it feels like they haven't even worked for it. Their CT side's been a bit lackluster, but
that's what happens when you do have that dominant T side. But oh, 2 kills go in the way of CyberMD, and near guaranteed round. Litovka finds Swift Steal as well. Everything's gone wrong here for Hotu. And Mizukza, gonna be the hero in this one, finds the first. Needs to be aware of the player towards short, but Vorain will take him down. All on Gokushima now. 1 versus 4. And the smoke towards heaven might kind of just secure this round here for CyberMD.
yeah, maybe Hotu are going to need to work for it, because disappointing looking around from them. It was just, it wasn't even the fact that they failed to sort of do any real damage, but just every single gunfight went the way of CyberMD. You obviously saw, I believe it was Mizutsu towards short, finding the bomb, and he's up against the P250, Fred. Isolated. Nobody else to help, no other util, just a P250 wins out against that rifle. We've surely got to see a bit more there, and there it is. There's your bit more.
It's so back and forth here. Neither team wanting to string around together.
Yeah, so similar to the Zero to Nasty game. It's so hard to sort of pick a victor, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes OT as well.
Only 1 player remaining here for the T's, and will fall to Gokushima. Hotu once again taking the lead here. Surely we're going to see a buy here for CyberMD. Litovka have her hefty limitations. It is in fact
That's team play there. Dropping over an AK, using a Gillo yourself. Something that I wouldn't do.
no, you'd be too busy buying the ult.
I'd instantly get out of the ult and say, sorry boys, don't have enough money.
Bought too quickly. Actually, I did that with util.
Yeah, you fall by util and say you got to have a drop. And you just don't have a choice other than dropping you.
Exactly.
You have nothing. But Mizutsu does get aggressive. Sort of gets 1.5 there. Look at Litovka's health. 21 HP. So despite these trades sort of always going to favour the T side, just as it does split the sort of defence a bit more, I feel like that's definitely a gunfight that Mizutsu sort of go out feeling like he's done his job there.
And obviously that's confirmed damage. It's not as though it's a kind of grenade or a spam. They know one of them's low.
CTs. 2 players towards Monster. It'd be such a strong setup. I've seen it so many times. Really fall apart. 45 seconds on the clock. CyberMD are going to be hitting this B-bomb site. And in the meantime, we see Swift still getting a bit more information towards A. We might see a rotation from Gokushima just in time, but it looks a little too late. Ruler finds the first. Does damage to the second. Case finds the low HP player before getting traded. 2 versus 2.
Gokushima searching for this pick here. Does find one. Final player has scurried his way towards Pillar. Flash will be good. We got this aggression from short. Oh my god, Gokushima.
Yeah, nice way to end the round there.
And Hotu, they finally extend it.
Gonna be something for CyberMD, but the loss bonus isn't enough to be able to really justify a buy. So they can go for the sort of eco here. In fact, they've invested quite a lot already. A few players towards this 1.6k. To point out, they're going to be getting 2.4. So yes, you can get a buy with 1.6k, but it's going to have limitations. And I feel like you're in the stage of the game where it's going to be the furthest thing from what you want. I mean, we see Vorain buying head armor. You're in a position where I feel like you've got a tech, just you don't really need the head armor that badly.
Oh, what a shot from Litovka. Gokushima will find one. Aggression coming through from Nightman, but we'll just drop the smoke in time. Rotations coming up now. Swift Steal sends the Molotov towards toilets as well, just to try and delay. That is so unfortunate for Vorain.
Yeah, head armor didn't save you there. That is a bit brutal. It looked like he had perfect timing, but it feels like Vorain just didn't fully commit to the fight. I feel like it's one of the ones where you don't realize, wait, are they really not looking at me? It happens to the best of us.
A find from Gokushima. Swift still takes down one. Oh, the awareness of Christ as well. And Hotu, they're on 15. Cyber MD, they look great on their T side initially, but now Hotu, they've certainly come into their own. And this is going to be a tough one here for Cyber MD. And they invested in a lot in the last. Look at the utility they've got to play with here. Only 10 pieces.
About, and what they got for all that sort of financial trouble was 1 kill. It's a real risk what Cyber MD made.
Definitely not worth it.
They could still win this round. We've seen them do it with less.
But Charlie,
things do not start off well.
They've used 2 of their 4 smokes just on Molotovs. They could have waited 4 seconds. He lost a pick as well. Mizuxa towards connector here. Might be able to find a couple as they are going to be swinging out towards middle. Oh, and he finds one. Second player's blinded, but he runs out of ammo. Quite unfortunate.
Still 2-man advantage, though. He's getting pressured in con. And he's still alive.
How is he not dead
How is
yet?
he still here?
How is he not dead?
Finally falls, but look at the damage that's been done. 9-man, 22 HP. Price 16 and Varane 48. That's an embarrassing engagement there.
How did he not die? He was there for, 10 odd seconds with 2 players fighting him.
I don't even know what to tell you there. If Cyber MD failed to win this round,
you've got to imagine it's because of that altercation.
It doesn't get much of a more embarrassing finish than that, frankly. But Gokushima does find Christ. Both these remaining players in long toilets. Gokushima fumbling with his nades. That's how he ends it. The HE grenade drops.
He didn't fumble it.
And the no-scope connects.
There was no fumble there. It was all intentional. But what a way to end it. A no-scope and a nade combining. But an absolutely great game there. I feel like it kind of had everything. It was real back and forth. But then Hotu eventually came into their own on that CT side. But that con fight, that's CS. That's the only explanation for that one. But obviously a great game. But what are your thoughts?
That's the SCL's version of that sort of
that's
NA Tarek clip.
Oh, see, I'm thinking the Summit. I'm thinking the Summit running in the molly on train. That's the vibe it's given.
Yeah, that was just an individual mistake.
Oh, you on the
whole? That was a
whole
whole team mistake.
Yeah, okay.
I felt like we should do a side by side. Get on Twitter. SCL post this out. The Tarek NA one with all those NA players, and that because difference. Yeah, there's probably a bit of a difference, but still not ideal. But yeah, disappointing end to the game there from CyberMD. Their T-side looks so strong, but a few financial question marks I feel like really hindered them a bit. We saw their full buys were never perfect. They obviously went for that very strange sort of force buy where a few players fully invested and a couple just barely bought at all. And then we basically saw the same buy twice. Even though it did work out the second time, it was still a bit of a question mark. They could have just ecoed. They could have done smarter decisions. Really unfortunate, though. They looked very good on their T-side. I feel like if they could redo it again, I feel we see a different storyline. But Hotu continuing their form from this season. A great comeback from them as well after things started to look a little difficult. But Hotu looking very good. 4-1 now. CyberMD, they are 2-2. Still plenty of CS left to play. No reason why they can't still come back into this and make playoffs. But yeah, great game overall.
And obviously we've got a great game on our hands very shortly as well, as it's VPProdigy versus Into the Breach. I can't wait to see that one being played out, but obviously that will be coming up very shortly after the break. Hello there, guys. How are we all doing today? We are going to be going into this matchup very shortly. It is VPProdigy versus Into the Breach, so this should be a nice one to see. Once again, we are on Nuke as well. So, 2 games of Nuke today. It's nice to see how CyberMD played Nuke. Played very aggressive on that T side, and they were successful. Whether we'll see that in this one, though, is going to be the question. But what are your initial thoughts going into this one, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, VPProdigy, they had quite a tough start to the season. I feel like they went 0-2 down. They've sort of recovered it slightly. They're now 2-2. But when you compare it to Into the Breach, who are 4-0, it's definitely by no means going to be an easy task. I mean, something that I think is quite interesting is VPProdigy are a team that we normally looking to be one of the top 4 in the whole league, really. And they've looked a little disappointed. Starting to recover now. Hopefully they can continue it, but a very tough opponent faces them.
Yeah, we are going to be going straight into this one as well, pretty much instantly in the pistol. VPProdigy going to be starting on that CT side as the benefiters of winning the knife round. Should be a good one. Oh, it's just going to be this ramp rush here. Latic might get overwhelmed. Has been spotted. We'll just drop the smoke. Ooh, missed movement there. Just going to get overwhelmed here. N2K rotating in fast. Same with Flash. Nice kill there from Flash. Takes down Dobbo. This aggression here, trying to take some control. They've got 2 in double doors. Oh, it's all on Rusty now in this 1 versus 1. Flash is low HP. So low on Flash now. Rusty surely going to win this one, and Into the Breach, they take the pistol.
I feel like we've seen Rusty in so many clutches before. Regardless of the situation, it always seems like he's one who's able to convert them. Big pistol there from Into the Breach. I mean, I don't feel like it's much of a surprise after how things initially went, but yeah, the health just really allowed Rusty just to be able to take that one reasonably comfortably.
It looked nice there for VPProdigy on the retake, but it just wasn't enough, and Rusty towards the backside, able to get 2 there. Very nice stuff.
Force buy in this one though from VPProdigy. Got a decent bit of weaponry. The Scout of Latic does get a tag through the wall and finishes off Rusty here.
A lot of aggression here towards Garage. Dobbo will take down Flash, and now Adam very close towards main. Does find Result. The A-bomb site, in fact, is open. Adam already dropping down the vents. Man advantage here. Oh, Dobbo completely unaware of Under Heaven, but still finds the frag onto Fen 2K. Cypher takes down Latic, and it's all on Lomic now. 1 versus 3. Dobbo and Draken both been tagged down. Oh, that's a nice find onto Draken. 1 versus 2 now, but Adam in a perfect position. Lomic's certainly going to struggle in this one. That's retrieved an AK here, but surely Lomic's just going to be saving. Into the Breach should find 3 off the back of this one. Obviously the AK will be able to be utilised in the next, but surely just going to be some USPs, maybe some Deagles at best. But a very nice start here from ITB here. Especially on the T side of Nuke. We talk about it time and time again. When you start on that T side to get the pistol and the subsequent rounds after, it puts you in a great position. Great aggression from Adam here, already down vent. Ben 2K will find 1. Ooh, 2 versus 4 now. And the force buy from VPProdigy certainly working out nicely. Cypher very low here. It's all on Dobbo now. Bomb will get defused. There's nothing Dobbo can do. VPProdigy, they win that third round somehow.
This buy definitely, you got to favour VPProdigy in it. I feel like just the Deagle and Rusty, the AWP that you're going to see on Latic. Yes, there are 4 AKs on Into the Breach, but they've really got to step up here. If there's any chance Into the Breach is going to be able to take this one.
It's going to be a fairly tough one with Lomic already and Secret as well. Able to find the first.
Could get given another opportunity of that, but Draken, huge find with the AK there.
Keeps this at a level playing field. Obviously, Lomic has been tagged down as well. Could opt to go towards ramp here. Then we can see Rusty retrieve that weapon. Obviously, we have seen Latic rotating in. Oh, Rusty, in fact, can take Cypher's weapon towards outside. Very limited utility on both sides here, but you'd have to favour Into the Breach. Got a couple smoke grenades and 4 flashes as well.
Still very slow played. All these teams are pretty split. The bomb is towards outside, so you do imagine it have to be that A split, but the player in Secret, obviously Lomic doesn't have the most health to play with, so gotta be aware.
Lomic does get taken down there. Nice find from Dobbo. They are going to be sending it down towards Secret here. Obviously Adam going to be leaning towards ramp. Might get taken down here by Latic, but Latic could get overwhelmed now. He's currently getting flanked. Oh, missed shot there from Latic. Very costly.
Wrestle though, could still have this round in the palm of his hands. Slowly creeping towards control. 2 players here though. Gonna be so tough to crack this defense, and he can't.
Flash will come through as well. Fully blinding flash. Obviously 3 of these players, all players for Into the Breach, have been tagged somewhat. Do have the kit on flash as well, so he's got time to work with here, but it's going to be a very tough one. Does take down Adam. I feel like it's safe to say this one's probably over.
I don't even know if he'll be that. Yeah, he should be able to survive this, so Flash will get out, but Into the Breach, even with me saying sort of it was the weaker buy, the weaker weapons, still, he sort of dealt with it comfortably there.
Very nice round there.
Yeah, did their job. I felt like the kill onto Draken was really important. The first one that he found onto Fen 2K. So without that, things could have got very difficult.
I'd say we still have a strong buyout though for VPProdigy. Latic once again on the AWP. See the smoke drop there from Result. Still holding towards main. Latic trying to find a pick towards outside, but hasn't been given the opportunity to do so yet. We already have a player down Secret. That is Rusty.
What I think is going to be a real threat is when Into the Breach switch sides as well. Obviously, I feel like there's so many individuals that we've seen can be so strong on that CT side, but Draken on the AWP is something to really fear.
And I don't know whether we'll see Draken on the AWP on the T side. I feel like there's a lot of times you do see Draken optimizing for an AK on the T side, especially on a map like Nuke. Sometimes a little tough to utilize it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of AWPers do actually prioritize sort of going for those. Especially, there's a number of maps where sort of AWPers prioritize going for the rifles over the AKs. Really, obviously Inferno is one of them on that T side. I feel like there's a few teams who just sort of stick with the AKs. Sort of go as a pack a bit more.
It's just Fen 2K remaining here. It's towards lobby. We do have the AWP on Cypher as well. Trying to hunt this player down. Was he just the MP9 on Fen 2K, so not the perfect weapon to save?
Yeah, at least it will give something in the next round, I suppose. Obviously, it's 2.4k loss bonus. It's not going to be an ideal buy either way for VPProdigy. So it's something that you can at least fight with. Yeah, like you said, not an ideal weapon. I'll be pretty amazed if it's a round winning weapon. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect. Should just be the ego here for VPProdigy, but it will allow Into the Breach to find 5 on that T side of nuke early on.
Yeah, we do see Draken on the AWP. Obviously, saved across from Cypher. Clearly wanting to use it in this one. He's got the nice spawn as well. Could potentially go for a ramp or could peek towards Squeaky. Either one being a great decision. Awaiting this ramp aggression. Ooh, flash. Setting up the flashbang. Could be perfect here. Just sending in the MP9. Oh, and it is good. And look at that. That's a perfect double. You mentioned it being a real rough round winning weapon, but found 2 so far, but nothing more.
Yeah, good effort there from the MP9. I love the fact that even though it's just the MP9, they still fully flash him in, set him up in whatever way they can. Obviously, the main issue is just the fact that his team went down all around him, didn't really get much of a chance to sort of keep it going. You obviously understand it's just going to be weak weapons around it, but still, something could be done.
Nice find from Rusty there. Takes down Lomic. Great opening pick. Latic will take down Draken there.
Ooh. Dobbo.
That's the bomb.
Interesting play, and Cypher's got to try to pick that up. It's going to be able to, but 4 versus 2 now. VPProdigy heavily favoured in this. Cypher only 52 points of health as well.
Aside from Rusty to try and close this one out, they're going to need to find at least 1 or maybe even 2 kills before they even decide to go towards a bomb site. Cypher's in a nice position here, but they are seemingly aware. They have just gambled ramp open, and if Rusty goes probing, could be a nice call for them, but clearing all of this top lobby area.
The issue is with Cypher is that they should be aware that he is towards Garage. So it means Rusty's going to have to do most of the sort of heavy lifting this round, and just 1 rifle is going to make it so challenging. Timing of this second venturing, there's a good chance the rifle sort of barrel was spotted.
It does.
Rusty does fall.
Only 26 seconds remaining. You've got to imagine Cypher's going to struggle in this one. It's currently wrapping Heaven. We've got 3 players in towards A. Wrestle holding Heaven. It's going to be so tough for Cypher. All about timing here. Let's find 1, but lovely trade from Latic. VPProdigy, though, they need to string these rounds together, something they have definitely struggled with so far.
Yeah, Orp is back on Draken. Obviously, Latic bested him in the last.
Yeah, even when he was kind of disadvantaged, he was fully blinded. Draken seemingly had a perfect opportunity to find that frag.
Yeah, obviously not an easy angle to sort of clear. There's a few angles that they can play in that sort of rough vicinity, so not the easiest pre-aim, but yeah, you definitely probably would have favoured Draken in that situation. And look at all these bodies, though, crossing towards Secret. I believe they did that fully shifted as well, but Lomic is going to have a lot of work to do, and he succeeded, finds 3, and look at the health of Adam. You said stringing rounds together, Lomic's gifted them 1.
1v4 for Adam, currently being held here. Oh, seem very aware of the player under Heaven, but VPProdigy, as you mentioned, able to string these rounds together, and it's all off the back of Lomic there. A lovely triple.
is forced into the breach onto this eco now. So VPProdigy can sort of start to make their way back into this game. Draken does actually have a hero scout. The damage will be the main plan, but Draken can't even fire a bullet before getting dropped.
Nice peek there from Latic. We've got a couple more deagles in place. Cypher has been dropped, one of them, but oh, Dobbo getting taken down there. The boost coming through. Oh, what a shot from Rusty there.
I feel like that's what we should have seen potentially early on from Draken. It's always going to be tough to best an AWPer in a straight up peak. Because if you don't exactly hit that instant headshot, chances are you're going to be dropped even if you do tag them. So I feel like maybe a boost behind the blue box would have been the safer play. Potentially yielded a few more results. Adam does get found though. These two players outside could still find some frags. Rusty with a scout has two players to find, and both of which can be found by one shot with his scout.
It's going to be tough though. I feel like any avenue that Rusty tries to take is going to get found here. Ooh, gets the headshot onto Flash. He's getting flanked right now by Result. Surely this is a guaranteed kill.
I was wondering if you're going to see a knife there.
Maybe. Not in this one though. VPProdigy though, touching distance away from their opponents. Obviously, you know, the T side of Nuke, we're expecting a, you know, maybe a kind of 5 or 6 rounds as the real average, and seeing as Into the Breach have already found 5 with 6 more rounds to be played, I feel like we can still see them looking good here on the T side.
Yeah, obviously not perfect behind this one. They do have the AKs out. No water for Draken. Util is a bit limited. So it's definitely not the most ideal buy, but just the individuals of Into the Breach can definitely make these weapons work. Or at least this buy work. The weapons are not the issue here.
And I feel like as well, VPProdigy, although they have won these 3 rounds in a row, obviously the last being fairly clean, but it seems as though they haven't got that much money in the bank. I believe they will be able to get a buy in the next, even if they lose, but they're definitely going to want to maximize their economy here.
There'll be only some players that can get a buy. Obviously, Flash will be limited, Lonic will be limited, Result even will be limited, so obviously one round really can be the difference here. Boosting Dobbo up. I feel like you see these boosts more and more now.
We do already have a player down towards B. That is Fen2k. There'll be a fast rotation from Latic as well. Dobbo setting up the smoke. Door will open. Oh, Fen2k finds one. Might be able to find another hit. Adam will take down Fen2k though. 2 players already rotated in very quickly here. Rusty will find Latic though. Flash now. Fastward taking down this player towards the backside. Now it's Adam and Draken to try and close this one out. Result very fast will find Adam. All on Draken now. Is in the back lines. Surely not got enough time.
Yeah, he was really a player that could have caused damage in a post plant, but the fact that sort of was required to try to win out the round, didn't have the time, didn't have the bomb, and the players just was never going to swing until they heard that tap.
Just a little late there.
Yeah, can have a bit of a tech pause here. VPProdigy are having a few loss issues. Hopefully won't take too long to sort out, but often these can be a little tedious.
Yeah, but you know, it's online CS. It happens, you know, quite frequently. There's not really much you can do about it, so
yeah, especially when players are playing in completely different regions.
Hopefully everything does get sorted soon, but sometimes these pauses can really upset the flow of momentum. We've seen a great set of rounds here from VPProdigy, but all it can take is, you know, a little bit of time for Into the Breach to regain their confidence and potentially mentally reset, and they can be right back in this one. Obviously a level playing field now.
Draken has actually invested in this one. The rest of his team can't buy, so this is quite an interesting decision. Might just be that hero AK buy, rest of just half buy around it. Potentially he'll drop over an AK next round and get an AWP. But obviously, I do believe they're on full loss bonus. Yeah, they are. So Draken will get around 3.8k. So he can drop over an AK, get armor, and somebody could drop him an AWP. Nobody can drop him an AWP.
Rusty could play without armor in the next.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like Adam and Scythe had enough money to do so. But just the hero AK in this one. Draken did spot the player, but he takes him down anyway.
And that weapon can be retrieved as well. Rusty now with the AK-2. Oh, Latic. Millimeters away from finding that kill, bringing it back to a level playing field. There's no one down towards B already, so the bomb can get planted now.
Obviously, still these pistols in play, but these two AKs could really be the difference makers.
It's a good looking round here, though, for Into the Breach. Fen2k rotated in now. Tars were trying to find a couple here. Does in fact lose his life to Rusty. And this could just be a save here from VPProdigy. I think they might just have to go for this one. There's no point trying to send it in, especially with the two-man disadvantage. Although against the pistols, no need to throw away the equipment, and Into the Breach, they're going to take the lead here.
Well, that's all from that hero AK there. Finding the first kill allows Rusty to pick up the retrieved AK and find a kill with that rifle. Huge round there from Into the Breach. Against all odds, they make it work, and all they need is 2 kills.
We also can see Rusty invest in an AWP. He can drop over the AK to a player like Adam Dobbo, and he can bring one out himself. Obviously, won't have perfect utility, but will still have somewhat enough.
It'd be interesting if they do. They don't choose to do that, but potentially, yeah, they just. Yeah, maybe Draken is just opting for these rifles a bit more. It feels like on the T side he can have a bit more impact. Obviously, Nuke is it can be very difficult to try to find the impact with an AWP on T side Nuke. A lot of the angles are very difficult to clear, like rafters on 8, pushing out hut, something like that can be really challenging to clear with an AWP.
And I think as well, we've seen Draken perform well with a rifle in hand. He was able to get that opening pick in that one, so. Not to say he's going to be out of it, but obviously on the CT side, that's when a player like Draken will come alive, especially wielding the AWP.
Into the Breach, they do regain the lead. You have to think this is T-side Nuke. A 9-6 is a pretty decent D-side.
And I think as well,
a solid enough more rounds left to play, so there's no reason why I can't get more.
If they win this one, they'll break the money of VPProdigy as well, and that should allow them to find 8. Oh, Rusty towards outside. In a nice position here, but Lomic will be able to find one. I think Rusty just stepped there as well.
Yeah, Lomic certainly seems to be aware of Rusty now, so this engagement really could spell who's going to win this round.
Wrestle still on top of Hut here. We'll find one. Can just back away as well. 5 versus 3 peeks into his own flashbang.
Just testing if it does work. Dobbo and Rusty, just like that. A quick flurry of kills. 3 going the way. Make that 4 as Dobbo doubles down.
Every single player there.
2K. What can he do now?
All 3 of them just found their individual fights, and you know, we could have seen VPProdigy close out that round instantly, but Into the Breach with such clinical mechanical abilities there, just instantly taking them down. Rusty can just swing here, and oh, Draken doesn't even lose his life. And as I mentioned before, the success found here from Into the Breach will force VPProdigy onto this eco, so Into the Breach should be able to take the half off the back of this one.
And even with an eco, it's not actually going to be that great a buy in the next round. Flash, Fen 2K, they're going to have limitations. Blatic can get an AWP if he does want, so there's at least that. But yeah, the half should be won here, just against the USPs. Into Breach, they've loved going down towards Secret, but they're going to be taking the fight. A lot of bodies for the CTs outside here.
And although it was 1-for-1 initially, Into the Breach, they just eliminated the VPProdigy defense there. And as we mentioned, the half has been won. But it's all about how much more Into the Breach can get. Draken, once again, is on the AWP now. Obviously, they have enough money to buy in the next, so might as well bring out the AWP.
No defuse kit here. few limitations in the utility department.
Adam already down vent. I love the way that Adam plays, just so aggressive, taking all of this control, kind of allowing the rest of his side, just kind of priming them for success. Ooh, that looked very dangerous there.
I think with the miss shot, does re-peek into it and finds Dobbo. Draken also falls in the meantime, and it's all on Rusty. 1 versus 4, turned 1 versus 3. Does find Lomic. 3 more players to find. Not being silent about his intentions, so Flash so ready for this kill and does take him down.
And obviously we're going to have a strong buy from VPProdigy in the next, but there will be limitations once again. Oh, Lomic just decided to invest. Flash could have dropped him an M4, so could have Result. It means we're going to see so many limitations in utility. That is so unfortunate, so unnecessary as well.
Yeah, really unlucky there. Obviously, no issue if VPProdigy do win this round, but definitely a few disappointments if they don't. So many bodies outside. Latic aggressive, finds Cypher and is able to back out.
If he found something with that pot shot as well, that would have been ridiculous.
Into the breach, really favouring outside here. Bit of a missed flashbang there by Draken, but to be fair, the tracers did actually show it didn't hit the box, but that's just CS clipping there for you.
A little bit unfortunate. Deep smoke there will block off the vision towards lockers. Adam able to find one. There's a player up, elevated towards heaven. Latic dancing around the generator box, does find Adam. Wrestle gets a kill in the confusion, and Latic once again doing a lot of work here. And that was a great round from Latic on the AWP. Into the breach, obviously successful finding the half, but the last 2 rounds going the way of VPProdigy allows them to get to touching distance away from their opponents.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's still an impressive half from Into the Breach. 8 rounds, winning the half on the T side of Nuke is certainly nothing to scoff at. But you have to think, we've obviously seen today, in fact, Zero Tenacity, SD and Victor. I'm completely forgetting who we just watched. Come on, Fred, help me out here.
Which team? Cyber MD?
Yeah, that's it. Cyber.
Hot
yeah.
Went.
That was it. Cyber MD.
A little bit of a brain blank there.
Obviously, complete. I thought it was SD and Victor for some reason. It's just obviously the 2 letters in another word, but yeah, completely got that wrong. But obviously, we saw on that Nuke game, both teams just heavily favoured that T side. So there's no reason why this can't be a repeat of that.
Yeah, definitely not. I feel like, you know, what's to say that VPProdigy aren't going to have their success on Nuke?
Pistol round could extend into the Breach's lead, though.
I like this from Into the Breach. A lot of teams usually invest in a fair bit of utility, maybe some dual Berettas, but no, the whole ITB side opting for armor, clearly very confident in their abilities here. But if the bomb goes down, that's when things become slightly troublesome. We've already got Dobbo down here towards the B-bomb site, is towards Secret, might get overlooked.
Result just as a bit of a lurk.
While all the action's going on down B, Result still biding his time, waiting in lobby, and does find Adam there. 4 versus 4 now. The bomb will go down. Rusty needs to time this elevation up the ladder perfectly. Draken is towards ramp. Not being quiet about himself here. Finds the first. Lovely shot from Draken. Looking for more. Dobbo will find one, but Fen2k and Flash both finding a killer piece. 2 versus 2 now. Dobbo tasked with finding these players towards Squeaky, but oh, it's getting very double. That's a great double.
I was going to say Dobbo, job done when he found the first in a really awkward situation, but the fact with his final bullet finds the second as well. Great performance there from Dobbo. I feel like Dobbo's a player who just is, I mean, similar with so much to the Into the Breach side, actually. I feel like you could say about a number of players who is a lot of the time just isn't near the top of the leaderboard, but the impact he has is really irreplaceable. Unbelievable impact and great find from Dobbo.
Definitely going to be happy with that one. I feel like it could have got very dicey there. Dopper and Dragon stepping up massively.
Alright, Nation roster.
Both Orbers. Oh, Cypher in a great position here. Finds the first and the second and the third. Is currently on for the ace, but Rusty steals it away, and it's just Latic remaining. Snake could do a fair bit of damage. Ooh, look at that. 34 HP.
Come on, Rusty. Jump down. Give us a show.
The Rusty show.
I'd watch that.
Just frag movie.
No idea what it'd be about, but I'd watch it.
It's about like restoration of old cars. Like, rusted.
Might not watch that then.
Okay.
It's gonna be a sort of documentary on Rusty.
Oh, okay. We can make it.
Maybe more at the end of his career. I want to see a knife. Come on, Draken. In fact, Latic's actually pushed down quite deep. He could actually find Draken here, and he does.
He's got 40 seconds to play with as well. It's going to be a very tough round, but not to say it's impossible. Surely just going to be saving. Oh, throws it out of the map, in fact. I don't know whether I like that or I'm confused by it.
Didn't have an M4. It could be a smart play. If Adam doesn't have an M4, it could be a smart play just sort of forcing Rusty to keep this MP9 and not being allowed to upgrade it. He does get found. Is there another M4? There isn't.
Not. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind that play at all. It's I love the play, or at least I kind of love the play. When sort of Orpers are in these really difficult clutches and they just throw their weapon out the map. But I also feel like the AWP is probably a weapon where you can win those impossible clutches.
Yeah, obviously, it was just an M4. He had no armor. It was going to be tough regardless.
Yeah, that one was going to be really challenging, of course. But just the Glocks hit. They are heading fast out towards Squeaky. Look at the nade damage. Cypher just seemingly...
He got the kill and he was like, well...
Yeah, it's like he stretched his knife or something.
It seems as though he ran out of bullets. I don't know.
I think he pressed a mouse button and it changed his weapon. I don't know if... Cypher, tell us your nades. Tell us your binds. But yeah, that was difficult. Unfortunately, Cypher probably could have got the ace there, but it still found 3 kills nonetheless.
They're gonna be happy with that. Obviously, we got the full buyout for VPProdigy here, but into the breach, they thoroughly extended the lead here. They've got a 4-round lead, and Draken going to be getting very aggressive here towards outside. Oh, the flash is good, but Latic is waiting for it. Oh, Fen2k as well takes down Adam. Instant 2-man disadvantage here for into the breach.
Yeah, this is going to be big for VPProdigy. Just sort of as soon as they get the first full buyout, instantly 2 quick kills. Can be good to build confidence, and that's exactly what VPProdigy are going to need if they want to try to make this sort of T-side comeback happen.
And obviously the money's not perfect for ITB. I believe Draken can reinvest in the next. Money's not going to be perfect, but still not too bad. Just going to try and chase Dobbo down here.
The ramp is free for the taking. Dobbo just holding a molly. Maybe holding this pixel angle.
Cypher sneaking towards outside. Does find Fen2k. Brings this round closer. And Dobbo gets a kill as well. It's a 3 versus 3 now. They need to be aware that Heaven can be a play. And Cypher seemingly in our team speak. He has just heard that. Just so aware.
So many bodies, but Cypher finds nothing.
Did he quick switch there? I feel like he didn't even have his weapon in hand. This could just be the save here from into the breach. It is going to be tough.
Do you quick switch?
No, I've never. I think quick switching. We've seen that there's no need to quick switch after reloading. There's no gain in time or anything like that.
I like how you say this, and yet you inspect your weapon mid-spray.
Oh, it's the best way. Have you got a clip where you get a 2K inspect the weapon and then get another one? Oh, it's just so casual.
Stupid.
No,
yeah, so stupid.
But it doesn't change. It doesn't. You still have your gun in hand. Still fire it
Pretty
instantly.
distracted.
Oh mate, you need. You just don't get the beauty of the clip. You don't understand it.
Okay. Well, I love a quick switch.
Yeah,
not with
I
the
know.
AWP though. I do it with the rifles a lot. Not with the AWP. It's never got me punished.
That is the biggest lie ever.
I've never been punished by quick switch.
Never. You've watched 7,000 hours on CS and it's never punished you. That is the biggest lie ever.
I swear. I know the times to quick switch. I just use the wall hacks to know when the team's
Oh, okay, yeah.
But Flash emerged from Squeaky and doesn't even best Rusty. That looked like a guarantee kill.
Seems though Flash was in the perfect positioning there, but still got taken down. Rusty is fairly low, but man advantage here for Into the Breach, and Adam holding a flash, waiting for Draken's call. Flash comes through, and now Draken emerges. Oh, I love this boost hit.
VPProdigy are playing quite deep outside. Yeah, I like the boost. Obviously, sort of get Rusty out of the main run of the danger. Good chance he can get spammed, get taken down by nades. So sort of just get him in a position where even if he finds one, it's going to be a bit of a miracle just with 11 HP.
Obviously, Adam's been tagged down a little as well.
Can't get them all on the rafters, Fred. Fen2k gets found. In fact, you can actually, probably. I know there's quite a common eco strat actually on Nuke where you sort of boost player Mustang and boost player Sally. And it's just... I've only seen it a couple of times. I think it's actually worked both times. It's pretty ridiculous.
I think we tried it once and we got absolutely destroyed. But
we did get destroyed, yeah.
I feel like the difference is we are not very good with the USPs.
We cannot... Yeah, but that's just us, isn't it? We just can't hit our shots. These pro teams certainly can. VPProdigy in a really difficult situation. We might be seeing a 3-man save here, Fred.
Yeah, obviously we can see a player like Latic drop over a weapon. Fen2k can invest in the next. So I feel like it's giving them a chance in that next round, but it's also giving Into the Breach a free round with all 5 players staying alive.
Yeah, look at the finances of Into the Breach. They're in a really rough situation. So, sort of having all 5 players surviving is going to be pretty big for them. It's just going to allow them to fully invest in util, no limitations to not drop any weapons, and just sort of build up what they can. Adam also got a free upgrade on his MP9. He's now got an AK. But yeah, like you said, VPProdigy can buy with the save. Obviously, luckily, Latic did have enough money to be able to drop. Because with that 0 sort of loss bonus, that 0 finances that they got him for just saving those weapons, it gives them something. Oh, Latic, another opportunity. It looked like he could have found that, but Draken swings just slightly too wide for him.
Rusty able to find one as well. Draken with his sights set on the bomb, and he finds another. And we mentioned this, Draken certainly not having the perfect T side, but now he's on the CT. This is where he comes alive, and that is a lovely one tap from Adam. Cypher will close this one out as well, and 13 rounds are found here from Into the Breach, and I feel like this is when the spiral comes to kind of coming to an end. I feel like VPProdigy, they didn't have the greatest of CT sides, and now they're on the T side. They certainly are struggling. 5 rounds.
How many full buy rounds do you see where they take 6 points of damage? Full buys, a lot of util, a lot of weapons and AWP, AKs, and Rusty took 6 points of damage. Nobody else took anything.
That's a real rarity, but I think it comes with the fact that we saw, 2 very quick entries. Then we saw Draken as well finding another, and it just left those 2 players completely alone. But we could have a little bit of a repeat here. Ooh, Adam able to find another. Ooh, do finally take some damage. They do lose a life as well. The bomb can go down.
Only one player towards A, in fact, so this could be a little bit of a misplay. These players all grouped up, but the kills are all going the way of Into the Breach. They do get one more on the side of VPProdigy, but failed to win the round. 14 now on the board for Into the Breach. This is looking very one-sided now, Fred.
Yeah, they're 2 away from closing it out, and I feel like that's where we're going to be ending. I think a comeback is going to be so tough, especially on the T side of Nuke. And seeing as VPProdigy haven't really put up a fight so far in this one, I feel like it's safe to say that ITB are going to close it out. And I feel like you touched upon it perfectly right at the start of the game. Well, into VPProdigy, a side that we kind of always been looking at to get themselves to playoffs, pretty much guaranteed, and potentially get themselves to the semi-finals or even finals. But they have really struggled so far in this season, and when facing off against a side like Into the Breach, it is going to be so tough. Oh, Draken finds Fen 2K there. Struggles on the second, though.
He also got a tag early on Latic, I believe.
Adam.
Oh, and Adam is just... Draken was the bait, and Adam was the killing blow.
A lovely double there. Just leaves Result and Flash in this 2v5. I feel like it's safe to say that this could be over now. Dobbo takes down Result. All that remains is Flash now. And realistically, the money's not going to be perfect in the next.
Oh, I like the attempt there from Draken.
There's a lot of walls there to shoot through. Goes for another quick shot there. Oh, and Cypher in the back lines to take down Flash. And I think this one's done, Charlie. I think it's over. Obviously, we always see comebacks. We always see attempts. But you're against Into the Breach. They're on the CT. So this one is surely already done.
It does give off that vibe, sadly. I mean, it's never going to be an easy comeback. 15-8 down, regardless what map you're on, regardless of what side. But when you're considering you're on the T side of Nuke, it just makes things significantly harder. And all it takes, Fred, is one slip up. And I don't even know if VPProdigy are going to have what it takes
to
deep, sort of win this one.
Look how deep Dobbo is already. He's got a slight gap behind the smoke to work with. And he's going hunting here. Oh, Dobbo in a great position, finds the first. Oh, the spray transfer. Able to get the second as well. 4 bullets in the mag, doesn't stop him. He finds another. That is ridiculous. And now the aggression from Cypher. Surely going to take him down. And that's the game. Into the Breach, they take it 16-8 here. And an absolutely great matchup from them. They looked amazing on the T side. And once they got onto that CT side, they had a player like Draken on their side who was able to frag as well. He didn't have the best of the T sides, but when he's on the when he's towards Garage, it's just easy pickings, really. Just easy kills. But a great match there from Into the Breach. But what are your thoughts after that one, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, Into the Breach, it felt like they were always one step ahead. Even early on in the game where it was a bit closer, they took the early lead. It was VPProdigy starting to come back more into the game. VPProdigy, I don't believe they ever took the lead in that game. It was 5-5 at one point, and then Into the Breach once again started to pick up that sort of dominance. And it was at the end of the first half that VPProdigy started to get a couple of rounds again, but it always felt like VPProdigy were chasing. And that was on the stronger side. That was when they were meant to be favored in these sort of rounds. And then obviously as soon as it switched, Into the Breach just hit another level and they looked so good. But you mentioned in that game that VPProdigy are a team that we normally expect to make it to playoffs. They're a team that, I mean, the worst finish they've had in the SCL was semi-finals. So we're normally expecting them to reach a similar situation. But Fred, they got 3 losses already. From what we're looking at with the sort of table right now, a 5-3 is what we're sort of expecting to sort of guarantee yourself a spot in playoffs. VPProdigy, if that's going to be the case, they can't lose a round. They can't lose a game.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
And worst case scenario, maybe you're going to be able to sneak in with a 4-4. But they're really on sort of tender hooks here. They've got to be very careful and they've got to be able to win their next 2 games. And they definitely don't have easy matchups. P2M, Websters and Royals. They've got to step up there. But Into the Breach, continuing their streak, 5-0, one of the only few teams that are unbeaten. Bax and P2N are also unbeaten, but obviously they've only played 2 games. Into the Breach 5-0, third in the table right now, looking unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, obviously you mentioned Into the Breach's standings. VPProdigy, though, not in a similar situation. Obviously, as you mentioned, their 2-3 record. Where does that leave them in the league rankings, Charlie?
Just due to the amount of games they've played, they are reasonably close to playoffs still. They are in 19th. Obviously, it's top 16 advanced to playoffs, but there's still teams like Pro Gamers, EKO, who are 1-1. They've just played 2 games. VPProdigy, they've played 5. So it's definitely not an ideal situation to be in for VPProdigy, but there's no reason why they can't turn it around and just barely scrape in and then just mentally reset. They got best of 3s in playoffs and just go from there.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, it's still a possibility for them. I feel like there are some teams where you can kind of see their record so far and you kind of expect, okay, well, their playoffs run is done. Maybe it's just all about keeping themselves in this Challenger division. But obviously, that has been it from us. 3 amazing games to be seen today, and there is plenty more CS to be seen in the next couple days. So if you guys are enjoying the SCL League, make sure to drop a follow on the Twitch and also the Twitter so you get those constant updates about what games are being streamed and also how the season's going so far. But that's been it from us. See you guys tomorrow for the rest.